Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a spoiler review of one of Jack Markham's favorite films, The Flash. And oh, what a coincidence! Jack is here to talk about this film and talk about
Oh,
everything he loves about this. I think you've referred to this as a masterpiece, yeah?
yeah, I believe in the last video I did describe it as a masterpiece of shit.
Oh, I just didn't hear the last bit. All I heard was masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's even possible to for anyone to call this their favorite film. I mean, if I could go back in time, I would warn myself not to watch it.
But then you'll create an alternate universe where it's twice as successful. Successful. I don't know why that word was so hard for me to say just then.
But God, yeah, yeah. But
Um,
we're gonna have to get into all of that shit, man. I mean, this
yes.
this fucking movie has problems. Like all of a sudden he stops his like okay, I'm not gonna get
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not
we'll
that far
we'll
yet because we
we'll
haven't even
save it.
started, but fuck me, man, this movie has problems.
Yeah, so as I was saying to Jack off air, I was going through the movie like we have done before, chronologically and taking notes from every scene, but my notes were just growing larger and larger and larger, and I'm like, man, this video is going to be 5 hours long, so we are just going to have to breeze over some scenes and some sections because we don't have a week.
Yeah, we could literally, if we were dissecting this and trying to make sense of it, we'd probably be still doing it on our deathbeds.
Yes, literally every scene has multiple problems. Needless to say, the writing is very, very weak. But
Uh, yeah,
yeah,
it's like it's kind of one of these freakish little babies or something that's grown in a lab. It's like it's not natural.
well, before we start digging into everything, the first note I have written down because I wanted to tackle it first is the Flash's run looks really silly. For the fastest man alive, you think he would have mastered the art of running, but oh my god,
Yeah,
does it look silly?
yeah, he starts on like one foot and like his legs and arms are just, you know,
He's doing this
doing this
weird
kind
thing
of
with his arms.
position. Yeah. Um,
Can you remind me, was that in the previous film? Did he run like that? I can't remember. In the Justice
well, I
League.
think in Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? He kind of ran pretty normally as far as I can remember. Like he
Yeah.
did that thing, he had the two fingers up like this, and then he had his arm behind him, and it looked pretty okay. Like, but this one, he's on like his tiptoes on one leg, and his limbs are just yeah, it's ridiculous looking. You're right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the poor effects around it don't help. But we'll get
And
into
yeah, and
that.
the fact that he kind of flops his arms. But to be honest,
Yeah.
that is the least of our worries.
Every time I think of a scene, I just start laughing. It's unfortunate that this film turned out so bad, but it just is what it is. And we'll try and explain why we feel that it's very, very, very badly written. And the presentation
Yeah.
is also very, very poor. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if you experienced this when you were a kid, Stephen, but you know, growing up and you have the comics and stuff and you have the cartoons like Justice League Unlimited and all, you're kind of waiting for a Flash film to come out for years
yeah.
and it just never shows up. And then the TV show comes out, Grant Gustin, and it's a pretty big hit. Like everyone's happy enough with it. It's pretty good. And
Mm.
you're still waiting for this Flash film. And then a couple of years go by, this gets announced. It changes directors like 5 times.
Oh, did it?
Nobody wants to do it. Yeah, oh yeah, there was loads of kind of behind the scenes. Andy Machete was the final director, but it came to a point where Ezra Miller himself and Ben Affleck himself were approached to be directors because nobody wanted to do this.
No way.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with the controversy surrounding Ezra Miller. Um,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
because
if you're a
yeah,
fan
he
of
has
Ezra
been.
Miller, you get two for the price of one.
Oh yeah, in this film you get normal Ezra Miller and even more unbearable Ezra Miller.
Oh my god.
In the
I have them
same
in my
film.
notes as B1 and B2. So Barry 1 and Barry 2. Barry 2 is extremely irritating.
Man, I swear to God, like the only line I remember from this film is his fucking laugh.
Oh
Because you know
Jesus,
how in
it's so
every scene,
obnoxious.
anytime he delivers lines, he goes, ah! That fucking laugh he does is in every scene.
It's hard to imagine that they're the same person. They're so wildly different.
Yeah,
But
the thing is, I kind of feel bad for this film because that's an interesting kind of concept to play with. It's like if you went back in time and changed an event in your life,
yeah,
what would you turn out like?
how different
And now
would you
you've
be?
exactly like so you've serious Barry and then you've douchebag Barry. And I think there is a good film in there somewhere. It's just it's so poorly fucking written.
It is. I
The
mean,
concept is there. The delivery is not, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah. There's one scene in isolation I thought could have been effective in another film that's constructed better, but it ain't this one. Right, so we will start off with the collapsing building and the baby shower, as they call it. um, right, so
Yeah, yeah,
there's a building collapsing, and Alfred calls Barry to go help, and oh boy.
yeah.
So Alfred says that he tried to call Superman and Wonder Woman before contacting the Flash. Now, I
Right.
think the Flash should absolutely be the first person you call.
Well,
Um,
when you think about it, like you could just call Flash for anything.
yeah,
Yeah, any problem, unless it's in space or something, but any kind of earthbound problem,
yeah.
you know.
He
He
should.
gives a line when
Yeah,
he shows up, like when he first shows up, he goes down to the basement and he's tying the wires together, right?
yeah,
And he gives a line and he says something like, "Oh, I've accepted I'm just the janitor of the Justice League, but I can't help but notice it's always a bat mess."
yeah,
And I'm looking at him like, mate, you've destroyed the fabric of fucking reality. And the first person you look for is Batman to
yeah,
fucking help you. And
yeah.
you're the time travel guy, and you don't even, you know what I mean? It's like a building falling over is nothing compared to
That's a good point.
fucking.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Barry messes are much bigger than Bat messes.
yes. There's a bit.
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't like Barry's personality in this all. Like when he shows up to the scene and he's like he's helping. I think it's a nurse out of the sinkhole. So the building's the ground around the building is crumbling, and he helps her out, and she kind of runs off because she's scared, and he goes, "Oh, no need to say thank you, Flash." And I'm like, "Oh my god, shut up." The woman's just been fucking traumatized. It's just like you should be
Yeah.
saving people for the sake of saving people, not to get a pat on the back. And that immediately made me just
Yeah.
not like him.
I know
Well, I
that
already
was
didn't like
really
him.
fucking. I know, as if like it was very abrasive that he said that. It's like because if you just went through like a life threatening ordeal that you barely escaped with your life, you're not going to remember your manners in that moment. You just want to
Yeah,
get to safety.
imagine
It's gonna be like, get out of my way, red fella. Like,
imagine you're in a burning building and a fireman like carries you to safety in your coffin, and then he just lets you go to your family, and he's like, "Oh, no need to thank me." Like, Jesus Christ.
it just reminds me of that skit. That there's an Irish fella and he does comedy skits and he plays a bus driver in one of them, and one of the fellas gets off the bus without saying thank you, and he gives out to him.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're supposed to say thank you to the bus driver." He's like, "For what? You're doing your job." That's what Barry kind of reminds me of. It's like, what do you want fucking thanks for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
It's literally his job.
yeah, so I think it's a big problem that they don't think to call Flash first, because um so the building's collapsing and Batman's in pursuit of criminals who caused all this problem. They've got this deadly virus. So Batman's dealing with that while Flash is dealing with the building. And I'm like, Flash could absolutely solve both those problems in the blink of an eye. It's like he could run off to Batman's location, like even just take the car apart in slow motion or get the driver out, run back to the building and have plenty of time to do both. So the problem with Flash is that he's very overpowered and that most problems are trivial when you have a speedster like him around. Would you agree?
Yeah, I feel like you know, yeah, he could just if the Justice League and all these people involved with all these events that are happening were a little bit smarter, they'd be just like, right, Alfred, just call Flash, he'll do that,
Yeah.
you know.
He's just so
But I guess
overpowered. Like,
the Justice Leaguers also have to have their moments, I suppose, as well.
yeah, but you need to
Um,
write it so that it makes logical sense.
yeah,
Because otherwise, it's just okay. The writers just want to keep him off to the side so this hero gets to do something. But like realistically, Batman should be like, all right, Flash, come to my location, stop these guys, especially what's at stake.
Yeah,
Like, um,
yeah,
but
yeah,
another,
exactly. Like,
what do you think
let's
of?
talk about the babies anyway, because
Oh yes, so
now this scene might have been talked to death online, but it's good to get our thoughts on it because fuck man, I've some thoughts about that whole shit with the babies.
I don't even want
Uh,
to think about the physics of all of this, but like, um,
yeah.
this,
So when they first
yeah,
fall
go
out
for
of
it.
the building, um, Barry starts running up and he's standing on like a chair or something in in like stopped time, and he goes straight for the vending machine and he eats a lot of chocolate bars. And one of the babies, there's acid coming towards it, and one of them
Oh yeah,
there's knives coming towards it.
just before you go on, so he's eaten out of the vending machine because it was established in the first scene that Barry has this like calorie counter on his wrist, and it can
Right.
tell him when his calories are high and low. So it's an interesting way to try and nerf his power a little bit, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense, and we'll get into why in a bit. But that's why he's eaten in this scene, is to try and boost his calories to give himself energy. But yeah, go on.
And they could have used that for foreshadowing, and that could have been a later problem,
They never
in the
reincorporated in any
film. But
interesting way later on.
yeah, they
But
never come back to it.
but
It's pointless.
my big issue with it is that Barry's so fast he could easily run to anywhere, grab some food, and be back. Even if he steals it, and he's like, "Bro, the world's in danger. I'll pay for it later." Like, it's
Yeah,
or he
you're
could
telling
just
me that on the way to Gotham, he didn't run past a single Starbucks and just run in and rob 5 muffins.
it's
You
a
know?
yes, it's a problem that just doesn't work because it's so easily solved. Like when you're that fast, nothing's that far away.
Yeah, yeah, quite literally. I mean, I
So
just run to the shop and rob a chicken roll and run back in the blink of an eye.
a cheeky kebab.
Yeah.
But it's
Um,
so yeah, it's an interesting way to try and give the Flash some limitations, but like logically it just doesn't work.
yeah, because if his metabolism is really, really fast, surely he'd just digest that and shit it out immediately.
Well, even apart from that, just the fact that like he can grab food literally whenever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and let's not forget, by the way, that all the time he's saving these babies, there's a fella making him a sandwich. And this fucking scene goes on for like 10 minutes.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
god. Yeah.
the dude's still making the fucking sandwich after all this time.
You could cut out
It's, yeah.
most of that opening and nothing would change. But yeah, go on. You
um,
were talking about. Oh yeah, so you were saying about the babies. So the babies are in like comical levels of danger because
I mean, seriously, man, I think Barry's a little bit irresponsible with how he handles it as well because he fires off a fiery gas canister at one because the death about to hit into one. And I'm like, that gas canister missed that baby's head by like a millimeter.
yeah,
And the desk, like, that was incredibly risky.
yes, yes,
You're about to have a dead baby.
that was
And
very
then there's
lucky.
you know, there's the microwave one, which I think I mentioned to you before.
Yeah,
Um, Again, the baby's still in danger because
he'd be bouncing around
if
all
you
over
put
the
a
place
baby,
in it,
yeah, he'd be bouncing around inside it,
and
right? So
also,
you open that microwave and it's just blood everywhere.
yeah, it also at the end it pings as though it was on. That was weird.
Oh yeah, that was weird. And like the smoke coming out of it, you're like, hang on a minute,
Was he microwaving a baby?
the fucking thing isn't even plugged in.
Yeah.
How's it turned on?
So the babies are falling, but as they're falling, they're in extra danger because one has knives that are about to fall onto it. One is about to be burned by
Yeah,
acid. One's about to get burned. So, I do like the idea of a really chaotic scene, and Barry's dealing with it in super speed, and we get to see it in slow motion to see exactly what he's doing. It's a neat idea,
yeah,
but they didn't
yeah,
plan it out very well at all.
yeah. I think it's a very high stakes scene. Um,
Oh yeah.
there's clearly a lot going on here, and you kind of you're in the moment because you don't want to see these babies get splattered. It's just the special effects are so half-assed that it's
Oh,
just not really believable.
the whole movie looks unfinished, and these babies look like plastic dolls. Like if I had
Hmm.
paused that scene and I didn't know anything else about the film, I'd like, oh, the CGI for those dolls looks decent, but they're like supposed to be real babies.
Yeah, and you know what else worries me is that they all look the exact same. So
Yeah,
when they land and their mothers come to pick them up, there's going to be a few questions. It's like, which one's mine?
man, they should have done that in the sequel.
You know?
That's the origin of the villain in the sequel.
Yeah, one of those babies grew up to be the next Joker. I was the baby that was left behind.
Yeah.
Fuck, imagine he missed one. He didn't know. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, so the whole movie looks incomplete. So yeah,
Mm.
that whole scene is a bit of a mess. Anyone watching
Did
it
you
would
feel
see.
this?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Did you feel this as well that a lot of it seems like it's edited in the wrong order? Some of the scenes.
Yes, yes. One in particular,
Yeah.
with
For example, like
Iris.
yeah, when he's talking to Iris and he says, "Oh, if I could just go back and do the tomatoes and da 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 da," but he's just after talking to Bruce Wayne, and Bruce is like, "No, don't do this, idiot. It's a bad idea."
It's so bizarre. It's like those. It's like they took place out of order. You know.
I know it's as if he's coming up with the idea as he's talking to Iris, but he just talked about it.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna.
it's like
Do you know what,
he's memory loss or something. It's like,
we'll put a pin in that and we'll get back to it because I have stuff to say about that. But the next thing I
okay,
want to talk about, because it comes up after the scene, is some of the cringiest humor I've ever fucking seen. Um,
right.
did so first of all, did any of the jokes in this movie land for you?
I think there was one.
There was
Uh,
two where I
I
got
was watching it last night and I was like, okay, that's kind of funny.
yeah.
I
There were
fucking can't remember it though.
there are two instances where I gave a mild chuckle and that was it. But
Okay.
we'll oh no, fuck it, I'll say there's one where so later Barry will lose his powers and he thinks he's about to run
Yeah.
really fast and he's doing that
Okay.
stupid run around
Yeah.
and I was just
Okay, I'll
like
give it. That was quite funny. Yeah,
that was
that was
quite
pretty
funny,
funny.
but it's kind of funny because it's almost like acknowledging how stupid it is.
Yeah, he's deliberately doing the run because yeah, I think you're right. I think the director just wanted to say to the audience, okay, we know it looks stupid.
It feels something like that.
Yeah.
The other chuckle I gave was when Batman's explaining about the multiverse and he's using the spaghetti and the sauce and all that kind of stuff, and then he puts parmesan on it, and Barry too goes, "What does the
Yeah. Okay.
parmesan mean?" I give a little chuckle. I thought it was yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, "Wait, Bruce Wayne is Batman? I thought this was the cousins' dinner."
Now
Like, okay, right. There's a
that's
few little lines like that that
yeah,
kind of
that bit on
yeah,
its
that
own
kind
was
of match.
funny,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fucking make sense that he would think that. I'm not even in like
Mm.
a well constructed joke sort of way. Like I mean, in that like we won't go into
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
enough fucking shit to talk about.
Oh, we've enough problems. Yeah. I mean, like when he's on so earlier than the spaghetti bit, he's on the phone to his dad, right, in prison, and he's saying, "Oh, the footage. You don't look up in the footage, right?" And
Oh
this
Jesus.
phone call continues as Barry goes back in time.
Yes.
He, or
Actually,
does he go back in time?
before
Because like,
I do, before we dig it, we're gonna dig all into that. But I just wanted
okay.
to do this scene because it's straight after the building, and Wonder Woman shows up to help Batman kind of
Oh,
save the
I'm
day.
so glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Go
I
on.
just did not want to pass by this masterpiece of a scene. um, so yeah, she helps. I don't want to go into all the details because I'll be here forever. But she helps Batman, right? That's all you need to know. And
Right.
he doesn't realize that the lasso of truth is around his arm, or he forgets about it. And Wonder Woman's like, "No need to thank me," and then he goes, "My ego is too big to thank anyone." And I'm like,
Which just
I
yeah proves
do.
that the writer didn't understand the character at all.
I do not believe Batman would think that of himself, and I don't believe he's
No.
never thanked anyone.
No,
Um,
he absolutely has thanks people, and he doesn't really have an ego because he sacrifices his mind and his body every single night for the good of others. So, like, where's
yeah,
the ego in what he does at all?
yeah.
You know?
It's just, and then
Um,
Flash shows up, and then he's acting all awkward because Wonder Woman's around, and he tries to help Bruce get the lasso off him because he's kind of babbling the truth, and he doesn't want to be revealing stuff that he's saying. So Barry
mm,
tries to help him get the lasso off, and then Barry starts throwing truth bombs, and then we find out that Barry hasn't had sex, and I thought this was just so childish and stupid.
I agree. I was like, that is probably the worst joke you could make about the main character of the film. Because now that I know he's a virgin, it's like
Well, my
it kind
issue,
of weakens him. I'm like,
no, no,
really?
my issue with it is like, so what if he is like, I don't give a shit one way or the other. Like,
Yeah, I
I
just
hate.
thought it was a cheap jab, though.
Yes,
To be
exactly.
honest,
Yes, the cheap jab weakens him. Like you're poking, and
yeah.
it's like so fucking what? Like it just, to me, it's
Mm.
like
They could have said anything. Like they could have said something funny, like "I still collect Hot Wheels even though I'm 28." You know what I mean? It's like you
yeah,
could have actually made a funny
yeah,
confession.
but just
But like they
make
they they got it wrong on both of them. Like they
yeah,
said that Batman has a big ego and that Barry is a virgin. Now you could literally put anything in there.
yeah,
That's a little bit better.
yeah. I just
I
thought it
think
was
that
just
the two of them were just cheap jobs.
yes,
So I didn't
exactly.
like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was just particularly the one about Barry. I thought it was just childish nonsense, and
It was, yeah, yeah.
and
Come here though. I believe that I heard this story when I was looking stuff up about this film that the reason Wonder Woman is even in that scene at all is because they were shooting pickup shots for the Flash, and she was shooting her scenes for Shazam: Fury of the Gods on the same day,
ah,
and they rang her. They're like, "Do you mind coming over in costume?" And she just came over, and they just put her in the film and paid her a bunch of
oh
money for this
Jesus
fucking
Christ!
2 minute cameo. Yeah, so she wasn't even meant to be there at all. Yeah.
Right. So she wasn't originally in the script.
No, no. Well, look, this is a set story that I heard that
Right.
the director just found out that she was on set that day in doing the Shazam movie, and they were shooting pickup shots for the Flash, and they just rang her. They were like, "Do you want to be in the Flash as well?" She was like, "Yeah, sure."
Jesus
You know.
Christ. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I forgot that existed.
Oh man, that one's a mess as well. Not
Yeah.
a mess. It's just I found it quite boring. But I'm sure that maybe I've just kind of aged out of that kind of that kind of superhero flick, I guess. Um,
I
I'd
would,
say it
from
has a
what I've
young
seen, I would
person appeal.
wager that it's just not well written. Just from what I've seen, but I don't know for sure. I will give it a go. Maybe. I don't know.
It's very generic, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah,
It looks it.
very generic.
Right. So we're gonna go through Barry's plan. So we'll go through everything and
Okay,
sort of like
here we
what
go.
we'll go from. Right here we go. Strap in. um,
Let's find out Barry's genius plan.
yeah. So we'll do it in order, and then we'll explain like the scenes that look like they were shot in the wrong order, or sorry, put in the wrong order. um so he goes to Bruce, and he says that he wants to go back in time, and oh, actually, sorry, we skipped over the phone call with the dad. You had some stuff to say about that.
Right, I'm just kind of wondering. It doesn't really say, like, is he thinking this while he's on the phone to his dad, or is he actually there
No,
because
no,
he's in the
no.
flat suit?
I assumed it was just a flashback, like he was thinking about it.
Okay, okay. Well,
I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I assumed.
it's just an odd way to do a flashback, just putting him outside the house, when all of the shit goes down.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
he ran there to just kind of look and then and just recall what had happened while he's in the location, something along those lines. But yeah. So the
yeah.
phone call with the dad is, you know, the Flash is working on this evidence to get his dad out of prison, and
Mm.
there's a hearing or something scheduled, isn't there?
Yeah, I like their relationship as well. Like you see this through uh Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's like, Barry's whole attitude is I'm getting you out of prison, whether you like it or not. And the
Yeah,
father's like, no, you need to just go live your life.
yeah,
Okay. This is the cards that I've been dealt.
yeah,
And so, but he just wants the best for his son, which is really admirable on both of their accounts. So it's actually a very strong father son
yeah,
bond.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I like their relationship.
yeah, the dad wants Barry to forget about him and just move on, have relationships, live your life, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we
There
kind
is a scene, by the way, where we're first introduced to Iris West, and she is just the worst friend. I mean,
oh yes,
man, I literally was so thick with her
yeah,
because I was like, You're supposed to be his love interest, and you're asking him questions as a journalist, and you're questioning whether or not." his father actually. You're questioning it to his face, by the way,
Yes.
whether or not like, oh well, no one wants to believe that their father would kill their mother.
Yeah. Now she does
It's like,
try and reel it back by saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that," but I'm like, I would just not trust her.
no, absolutely not. I'm like, that is the sleaziest fucking thing you could say to someone who's about to go on trial.
She also
you know,
implies that, or she says that, "Oh, I think I've seen you around recently or something," because there was that scene in the, I don't think it was in the original cut, but it was in the Snyder cut where, she's,
yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
yeah, she crashes the car and Barry saves her in slow motion, and I don't know how he would have registered in her view at all, but maybe it was all in her subconscious. I don't know how it works, but
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
So the dad anyway wants Barry to forget about trying to get him out of prison and just go live his life. He says that it's easier for him in there because he can imagine the mother out there, out in the world, living her life. And I thought that was a bit odd, but um,
Yeah, it's like, okay, even if you prefer to be in prison because your wife is dead and you don't want to live without her, you still have a kid. I mean, he wants you in his life.
yeah.
Um,
But
so
I don't know if it works that being in there would just make him forget about the mother. Like, because being in there, would that not be a constant reminder in itself? Like, does he just forget why he's in prison?
he has a bit of a defeatist attitude about it, you know. I have a feeling that, if that was my dad or someone that I knew, we'd be at it for years trying to get him out, and he wouldn't just kind of give up on the whole thing,
Yeah,
like
well,
the way
I
Barry
kind of, there's
felt.
two ways of looking at it. One is he does seem a bit defeatist, but on the other hand, as you said, he just doesn't want Barry to give so much of his time to this.
Yeah, I suppose
Um,
there is sense to his attitude as well. At the
yeah,
same
so
time.
Barry's talking to Bruce, and Barry wants to go back in time and save his parents from their terrible fate. And Bruce says it could be disastrous. He really states how bad it could be, and they talk about the butterfly effect. And it seems like Barry won't do it. He won't go through with it. But man, Bruce should be uh, a lot more
Uh,
concerned considering what's at stake. He just kind of goes okay, and then that's it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Barry
He's
could
like,
literally
you
go
could
back in
also,
time and
yeah,
change everything, and you're just gonna. I just don't think Batman
yeah.
would just. Yeah.
It's kind of inconsistent with this version of Batman as well because you think he'd really fucking lay into him over this and bite the head off him for even suggesting it. Because, like, do you remember in in Batman versus Superman, this exact Batman said, "If there's a 1%
Yeah.
chance he's our enemy, we have to destroy him."
But
Now
then
Barry's talking
you
about
you're
fucking
forgetting.
destroying the timeline, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Ah, don't do it, Barry. It's cool."
Yeah, it's so casual. That
I
could be a
know.
disaster. Okay, I won't do it. All right, bye. See you again.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're
I really
forgetting
wish he
Batman's
laid into him
arc.
a little
So
bit more.
Batman did have that perspective about Superman, but then someone said Martha, and it changed. So there you go.
Well, maybe Martha made him rethink his attitude towards cataclysmic events altogether. It's like, it's all good, man. Someone said Martha to me once, so I'm cool with you going and ruining the entire fucking concept of reality.
When Batman was helping fight Zod at the end, Zod should have just said Martha to see if it worked. Batman's standing
Yeah.
there like, what the fuck are you talking about? Um, so yeah, I think Bruce should absolutely be more concerned about the fact that Barry could go back in time and change literally everything.
And like the thing is, Barry's even suggesting, "Oh, I could save your parents." It's like, no, don't, dickhead. You're fucking like the amount of
Stop.
people in Gotham who are gonna die if you do that.
I mean, it's
Uh,
established now that
yeah.
Barry has godlike powers,
Oh yeah, he's pretty fucking top tier.
and
Um,
if I was anyone around him, I'd be fucking horrified at the implications.
yeah, like I think the comic that is based very very loosely off, Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Um,
which was a
it's this
really good
kind of
animation, wasn't it?
fantastic animated movie,
Yeah.
by the way. If this one kind of sickened you and you want to cleanse your palate, that is absolutely the film
There's actually
to watch.
there's
Yeah.
a line that they try, so they're trying to get a certain message across to Barry in one of the scenes, and it's so clunky and clumsily done, but the animation does it really lean and brilliantly. I will get to it in a bit, but
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, like even in the animated flick, I mean, he goes back and then he comes back and Atlantis is at war with Themyscira,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And a load of good stuff happens. Like, Bruce Wayne was killed in the alley, and his father is Batman, and his mother became the Joker. Like, all this
yeah,
timeline stuff that would actually make sense.
yeah,
I mean, because it's the butterfly effect, but it doesn't. It doesn't change the past the way that Michael Keaton says. Do you remember with the spaghetti and Michael Keaton was like,
yeah,
right, you might think it's the Back to the Future way where it's a branched timeline, but in reality, that's not how time travel works, and that we're at a fulcrum point, and if you change the
yeah,
past, you create an entirely new timeline, both past and future,
yeah.
which is nonsense, by the way. It's probably one of the fucking worst time travel mechanics I've ever came across before.
Oh,
Because
the time travel mechanics are fucking nonsensical. It's like they've taken from various versions of time travel mechanics and just melded them all together and they pick whichever one
yeah,
suits in whichever scene. But
I know, and it's like, but you see in Justice League, when Flash reversed the time by a second to stop the explosion. Do you
yeah,
remember when
yeah,
Cyborg,
yeah,
when the mother box exploded? Right, he went back a second. Does that mean he changed everything in the timeline? You know what I mean?
exactly. And
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
actually
Yeah.
that's an issue in this film as well. It's going to come up in a bit. But right, so to kind of make it clear, right, so Barry had that conversation with Bruce about going back and saving his family. Bruce talks him out of it, allegedly. And
Allegedly.
then the very next scene, Barry's having a conversation with Iris, and she says to him, "Oh, is this why you chose your profession so that you could change or fix the system?" And then Barry goes, "Fix it? Yeah, I could go back in time and fix it." And I'm like, "Have you just forgotten your conversation with Bruce 2 seconds ago? Like he was already considerate, and this looks like it was the revelation scene."
Yeah. It's just this revelation scene doesn't even work because in this series of films, well, anytime he's gone back in time, he's like, "Oh, I gotta break the rule, Barry." So he has like kind of limitations. Like he has his head screwed on in those other films. It's like I don't want to break this rule, but sometimes weird things happen to time when I run so fast. Like he's pretty sensible about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this one, he even after Bruce Wayne tells him not to do it, he talks to Iris and then just fucking goes and does it.
It's really bizarre. As you said, it's like they were put in out of sequence. Like
Yeah, it's
it
like
should be this, and then he goes talk to Bruce.
exactly. Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, they definitely got them in the wrong order because this is the revelation, even though he literally just talked about this not 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh, and as a
Um,
side note as well, I know someone who was watching this and they weren't fully aware of the Flash's powers. So when he phased through the wall, he was like, "What the fuck just happened?" He had no idea the Flash could do that. He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
okay, I will give credit where credit is due, right? There's one good shot of special effects, I think, in this film. And when I was watching it in cinema when it came out, I remember when Barry is holding douchebag Barry and they phase through the wall and it goes right into the molecules.
That was a neat idea.
I, I thought that was a pretty neat shot.
Yeah.
Um, it's just kind of a shame how the rest of the film's so inconsistent. But that was one shot I'll give credit for. I thought that was interestingly done.
Yeah. I mean, there is some creativity in here. We will give it that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so Barry's plan. So there was footage of his dad in the store collecting a tin of tomatoes, and the footage was like comically fuzzy. It was not clear. So they managed to restore the
Yeah.
footage, but the issue is that in the footage, his dad's wearing a hat and he doesn't look up, so they can't really identify him. There's a lot of problems with that. But so
Yeah.
Barry reckons that if he goes back in time and oh, sorry, it's just right. So initially, he wants to go back in time to put the tomatoes in the cart so his mom doesn't forget them, and then his dad doesn't go to the store, and then
Mhm.
later in the film, the plan sort of changes a bit. We'll get to why it's really silly in a minute, but
Mhm.
first of all, though, right? So he says that right, if I put the tomatoes in the cart, my dad doesn't leave to go to the store. and then my mom doesn't get murdered. My mom doesn't die. But my immediate thought was like, how do you know they won't both die? Like
Uh,
you're putting a
yeah.
lot into this.
And
Like
also, doesn't he say as well, it's like, oh, I can't go back and warn them directly. That's too much interaction. I'm like, mate, you're saving a person from being killed. The
yes,
interaction,
like
level of interaction isn't in the question anymore.
it's insane. The writers are trying to brute force a scenario without wanting you to think about it too much. But if he saves his dad, like that's changing so much. That the knock on effect is huge.
Yeah, because oh man, it's just it hurts me head thinking
It
about it.
does.
To be
Like,
honest, I'm like,
why are they making they make such a big deal of Barry not interacting directly, but he can literally change the course of history, and it's fine. I don't know, but all right. So there's a
yeah,
few issues. One is
okay.
that you don't know if the dad goes that it will actually save anyone, or if someone, if the person who broke into the house won't just murder them both. That'd be really funny if that was the resolution. By the way,
So
he
yeah,
goes through all this, but the mom and dad both get murdered.
I
Um,
noticed in this film we don't actually ever find out who killed the mother.
That's in my notes. I think it's a serious issue that Barry does not seem to want to know who killed the mother. I would think that's like priority one.
Now, if it turned out to be, douchebag Barry, if he done it, that would kind of that would kind of wrap up the film a little bit nicer.
Yeah,
Um,
but Barry never
it's
once
just we
mentions that
never.
he wants to know the identity of the person because he could easily find that out if he's doing all his time travel shenanigans.
Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't you just go back and find out? Unless it's like, now I'm pretty sure it's like in the comics it's Eobard Thawne, it's Reverse Flash.
Yeah, yeah,
But now look, hardcore Flash fans, correct me if I'm wrong here because that's an origin that I'm not 100% familiar with. But I believe it's Eobard Thawne, right? So you have this Flash villain. Now, admittedly, he's a mirror villain, but as General Zod in Man of Steel proved, mirror villains can work if they're done correctly.
yeah. Of
What this
course.
film proves is a Superman villain like Zod doesn't belong in a Flash film with Flash's rogue gallery just
Yeah,
not even being touched. You know,
yeah, yeah.
I have
That
a
would.
feeling that Reverse Flash would have made a better overall villain.
That's a great point because Flash has a real, I think, interesting rogues gallery, and put some of them in here.
Yeah, I mean, like you have I mean, the Flash TV show did this fucking brilliantly. I mean, like they actually used the villains,
Yeah. But yeah, they're more concerned with like
and
Batman and Superman.
yeah, I don't know, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the reverse, the mirror villain thing when it comes to the Flash because it is just like a speed battle, and they're always like
Yeah.
they both have two different agendas. That's what makes them interesting. It's not just two fast dudes hitting each other. They always have different plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Barry decides to ignore Bruce's warning that it could be disastrous, and he's like, fuck it,
Mm.
I'm gonna go back in time." Uh, so he does. He does the whole tomatoes thing. He puts it in the carton. That changes quite a bit of things. And then on the way back to his original timeline, he's stopped short by a mysterious figure. Ooh. Uh,
Oh yeah, mysterious dude.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he gets stopped prematurely, and he doesn't quite make it back to his original time, and that's where he
Mm.
meets his younger self, and he meets his mom and dad, and there's some really awkward dialogue at the table. It's just
Oh,
the mother
yeah.
in this sometimes talks like she knows she's in a movie.
What, like kind of phoning it in
No,
kind of
no,
thing.
no, not that the performance is bad. It's just like there's times where she's talking to him like she knows that she'll probably never see him again. I love you so much. You're perfect. You're the best son ever. Anyway,
It's like,
let's get.
I love you first. I love you more. And it's like, okay, I know you're really trying to push the affectionate mother here. It's like, but I don't
Oh,
think a 10-year-old kid and his ma really go on like that. Um,
yeah, but
yeah,
all right. So actually,
she's
before
fine. I didn't really mind her in this too much.
no, no, I didn't. Her and the
She's
dad,
fine.
I thought were grand.
Yeah. When he does
Um,
go back though, one of the first things is like, how's been your month or your year or your last 18 years? Or what about all those memories we shared? We could always
Yeah.
make more memories as well if you want. I'm like, mate, just shut up, will
Yeah, and when I was
you?
watching
Shut
that,
up.
like, so Flash saved her and changed the timeline, but he doesn't seem to remember a life with her, so it made no difference to him because
Yeah.
the other Barry has memories of her, but he doesn't seem to. So it's like someone else had that life growing up with her. So
Yeah,
why any of this?
it's very jarring. Uh, and when you see the other Barry, you're like, oh fuck, some shit's gonna go down, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So where do we go from there? We go up to the bedroom. Uh,
Oh,
douchebag
actually,
Barry
can
is
I just put a pin in it because I forgot a scene I really want to cover because it happened before this, and it's kind
okay.
of important to the whole kind of message of the film. So earlier in the movie, when Flash was having that flashback, there was a scene where he's doing the maths problem with his mom, right?
Yeah.
This whole scene is a really clunky way of the movie trying to send a message to Barry. It's just so poorly done. Right, so young Barry is doing a maths problem,
Mhm.
and the problem is how many calculations can you think of with an answer of 24? And Barry's getting frustrated. He's like, "There's a bajillion answers. How am I supposed to fit them all in?" But he's written down a load. It looks like he's got the assignment done. He can't literally fit
Yeah.
in anymore, right?
Yeah, he literally fills up the bottom of the page with it. So it's like
Yeah,
top marks already, you know?
yeah. So
Yeah.
Flash is the kid is frustrated that he can't do this, and then the mother's message to him is, "Not every problem has a solution. Sometimes you just have to let go." And that's kind of like she's saying that because it'll be reincorporated later, but that's very clunky. And
Right.
also, like, does he just go into school and said, "My mom told me not to bother"? She said, "Sometimes you just gotta let it go."
Yeah. It's like if
It's
that's the last thing your mother said to you, that wouldn't you turn that into your mantra for life a wee bit?
well, he kind of
I feel
listens.
like he would adapt that more, and then he just becomes super lazy. He's like sometimes he just becomes a massive stoner. Just sometimes you gotta let it go, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he does have a
Yeah.
bit of a stoner bro persona, the other Flash, the other Barry.
Oh, the other Flash does, yeah. And when we meet his flatmates, like you just know they're just absolute fucking stoner students.
Yeah,
You know?
so
Yeah.
yeah, so her message, which will be important later, is sometimes you just gotta let things go. Not every problem has a solution. Probably shouldn't say that to a kid trying to get his homework done. But
Yeah.
so that was just yeah, that
Yeah, I
that
know.
whole
That
bit
was
was just daft.
and to
Um
be honest, some of the lines when they're delivered, it's not very believable.
that's the
It's like
thing.
you know when you're watching Dark Phoenix and some of the dialogue, or even Fantastic. You know that one
Yeah.
that bastard called Fantastic Four film.
Mm.
Like a lot of the lines are just spoken because nobody. I think everyone knows it's a pile of shite. Like so, they're not giving
No
it their all
one
really.
looked like they wanted to be there.
Yeah, I would agree. I
Because
don't really think. I
my
mean,
se-
the thing is, I would say that Michael Keaton is the only one who actually fucking puts the 9 yards in here.
he's by far the best thing in the movie.
Absolutely, he is. Yeah,
He's
for sure.
he gives the best performance, and one of my positives about the movie is that it was pretty neat watching Batman in action. Like I got some entertainment in some of the
Yeah,
Batman action scenes and the Supergirl action scene. Like the logic behind them is very very flawed, but I enjoyed seeing them Batman and Supergirl in action at times. But
yeah. I didn't mind. I
that's
actually did quite enjoy Michael Keaton's return. To be honest, there was
it's just a shame the
a
writing
lot of
was so
Burton.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
To be honest, it
um,
was my only the only reason I wanted to give this movie a go because of that. You know?
yeah, same. And to be honest with you, right on that point, I kind of believe that if they were doing a Flashpoint film in the DCEU, they would have cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Batman because he'd play Thomas Wayne if they're following the comic. And I
Ah,
kind of believe that the reason they casted Michael Keaton is because they knew that no one would watch it. if it was just
Mm.
Ezra Miller. They had to
Uh,
get the old school fans in the seats. So they were like, right, we're bringing back Michael Keaton from those classic Batman films. So
it
like
is,
people, the fans of those would be like, yeah, we have to go see it. You know?
yeah, it is a very desperate film.
Yeah, it's absolutely a marketing ploy to
Yeah.
have him in it. But you know what? I don't actually mind his performance in it. I think
No, I
it was
think he's
pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah. As I said in
They
a,
don't bastardize the character too much either. They actually do him a fair bit of justice um with the writing.
well, we'll get into that. There's a few
Right,
Batman issues. Uh,
right,
but
right.
I have said before that Michael Keaton was my favorite live action Batman. I think he's great in the role.
Mm. You did
Um,
say that for a while, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you said it. Sorry, on when we did that Q&A.
Yes.
Mm.
Um, all right.
I don't
So
blame you. He's my favorite for years as well. My
yeah,
favorite does change every so often.
yeah. Who'd be your current favorite like live action Batman?
um. Well, I don't know. Probably Christian Bale. I
He's good.
Yeah, still probably Christian Bale, just because of his trilogy. I think it's a beginning, middle, and end story.
Hmm.
Um, I think he has the strongest storyline out of all the Batman films so far. That is, we'll see where Pattinson goes.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. So I'm going to I'm just gonna skim over some of my notes because there's still too fucking many.
can I talk about a scene where the two
Go for it.
Barrys meet each other? By the way,
You go for it. Take it
I
away.
have I have such an issue here, and I have to put this to you, right? Because he goes, "Oh, what day is it?" And it turns out, "Oh, it's the day where I got my powers." And he's like, "Oh, if we're not in the crime lab in 30 minutes, you don't get the powers, which means I don't get the powers and I can't go back." And I'm like, watching this going, listen up, fuckface, you already have the powers. You can go back right now. What you're basically saying is, douchebag Barry has 30 minutes to decide whether or not he wants the powers. Him having the powers means nothing to you. You already have them.
Yeah.
Through this whole fucking the biggest self sabotage I think I've ever seen in cinema history, where he takes dickhead Barry to the lab and then he gets his powers taken from him. I'm like, mate, you didn't have to go there.
Yeah, like
This,
they seem to be operating under like two different sets of rules simultaneously, and the film's
yeah,
oscillating back and forth between them.
I honestly think, right, okay, so when he says you've 30 minutes, it's like, I don't even know if I could get back, or I have no idea what's going to happen. Right, you've no idea what's going to happen, right? Leave the status quo how it is. You have the powers. Idiot Barry doesn't. Leave it. That scene just fucking annoyed me. I'm like, mate, you're panicking over him getting other Flash getting the powers. That's what you're panicking over right now. You
Yeah,
know,
because
I don't know.
there's a lot in there that's just so sloppy when it comes to the time travel. It's like sometimes it's this, sometimes it's this. It seems to be a combination of lots. Do you know what? When Batman
Yeah.
was using the spaghetti, that's a good metaphor for this film. Just a big messy pile of spaghetti.
Yeah. When he poured the cooked spaghetti into the bowl, I was like, okay, right. At least we're on the same page. The fucking untangling this film is literally like untangling spaghetti.
Yeah, it was totally a meta line.
Yeah. So wait, let's just talk about Michael Keaton's explanation of time travel real quick, because
I'll go for it.
as the two strands of spaghetti create the fulcrum point, right? And so you change all of history and you change going forward, right? So th- it's just I think the Back to the Future thing works way better when Doc Brown explains it. He goes, "You've created a branch timeline."
Yes.
I have a feeling they could have just really just went with the branch timeline thing and forgotten about the fact that he changed the history of the timeline that he changed as well as the future. I think that makes fucking zero sense to me. I'm like,
Yeah. One of the big issues I have with that scene is
mm,
that, right, so Flash traveled back in time and thus created the
mhm.
multiverse. But Batman seems pretty confident in his explanation of time travel and the multiverse for something that apparently was just created. How does he know all this and
Yeah.
why is he so confident in it all?
Yeah, good question. I don't know how he knows all this. You'd actually think that maybe Barry would be explaining it to him, because Barry's done the whole time travel thing.
Yeah,
and this Batman never has. And also, is this film trying to tell us that when Barry went back and saved his mother's life, that they entered the Burton verse?
that's the thing. It's like, so
Is that where they are?
i-
Like,
if I if I was Batman in that scene, right, I'd be like, okay, this kid traveling back in time just created my world. Like, would that not fucking mess with your head?
yeah. And so if we are in the Burton verse, like we kind of have to accept that, right? He never had a crossover with Superman because the events of Man of Steel and the events of the Burton verse happen in the same universe, which means that Ben Affleck's Batman existed in the same timeline as Michael Keaton's Batman.
But here's the thing. I'm
Uh,
not even
the-
sure if it is exactly the Burton verse or a sort of version of that. I don't know. It's a big pile of spaghetti.
I know, yeah, exactly. Because if Michael Keaton is a retired Batman and he's witnessing the events of Man of Steel, that means that he existed at the same time as Ben Affleck's Batman.
Um, I mean,
Do you know, the,
I don't know. There's so many ways you could go with it that my head hurts.
it literally will hurt your head thinking about it, right? I mean, I'm kind of scrambling to make sense of it all.
Yeah, well,
Um,
so yeah, my
Sorry
issue.
if I'm coming on a little bit strong. It's just I
No, I
fucking
love it. I love
it's
it.
it is very kind of frustrating when you're trying to watch a time travel story and it just makes up its own bullshit rules.
No
Um,
film has done time travel right better than Terminator. Now, I'm not saying the rules in Terminator aren't maybe a little flawed, but they do it well in the way that it's not a huge part of the first two movies. It's like, okay, to travel back in time,
mm,
that's your setup, and now here's the film. And
okay,
there is like
right.
some bits of like changing the future and all that, but a lot of films when they're doing time travel, it's this over convoluted mess. And you can go with whatever rules you want as long as you're being consistent with
Yeah,
your own rules you've set up. And they're
yeah,
not
yeah,
here with this at all.
yeah. I think you know, the only problem I have with Terminator is that now look, you can probably explain this to me, but I've seen it a few times, and in the first one, Kyle Reese impregnates what's her name, Sarah Connor,
Sarah
right?
Connor.
Which is something that confuses me because he's sent back
Yeah,
from
yeah. I
the
mean,
future to make sure she survives to give birth to John Connor.
yeah, so they've created a
You
paradox.
know, yeah, it's a little bit of a paradox, but I see what you mean by it's a cohesive time travel story.
Yeah, like,
I would even say that X-Men: Days of Future Past is pretty cohesive as well because pretty much what Days of Future Past does is they go back to stop the Sentinels being done, but they don't actually send Logan back. They send Logan's consciousness into his previous self,
yeah,
which I think is it's a fucking awesome time travel film. Like if
yeah,
there's any Marvel fans who haven't seen it, it's for sure the best X-Men film. But it's also a great time travel story.
yeah, yeah. It's time travel, man. It's
Yeah.
just time travel and magic. It's so hard to juggle those things.
Yeah.
Um,
And I would say Endgame did a pretty decent job with it as well. I mean, that
no,
we had the scene where Captain America fights
no,
Captain America, which was fucking awesome.
no. They don't do it well at all.
No, you don't think so?
The rules in Endgame, again, they're very flawed and contradictory. We'll get into it another time, but I think the
Okay,
time
right.
travel
I
rules.
just thought we should give a few honorable mentions.
No, no, yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I just don't want to dig into too much detail about why, like, and all that. But I think the time travel in
Mm,
that movie is pretty one of its big weaknesses, to be honest. But however, we did get
yeah.
to see Cap
You
fight
know what,
Cap, which
right?
was awesome.
Yeah. You know where this kind of plot would work? If they did another back in the day, right? If they did a fourth Back to the Future film where Marty goes back, changes an event, and meets a kind of dickhead version of himself,
Hmm.
I think that would have worked better with Michael J. Fox than it does here.
Hmm.
Because at least he's a likable
Yeah. Yeah.
character and he doesn't have that fucking laugh.
Oh, can someone just edit out that fucking laugh? Jesus.
Oh man, it's in every scene.
So speaking of Batman and his writing, so Zod is attacking, and Barry. wants to find Superman, so he goes to Batman to help him find Superman. Right, just go with it. Um, um, but I think it's a
Yeah, 'cause,
big,
like, yeah, go on.
I think it's a big issue that Batman refuses to help them initially. Like the world's in danger. I do not think that's a massive problem for Batman's character.
Uh, yeah, no, I mean, like, look, he's doing the whole disgruntled, retired shell of himself trend that was popular in Hollywood a few years ago. You know, they did it with Luke Skywalker and they did it with Indiana Jones,
Right.
and they do it here. It's like, no, I'm just a broken old deadbeat man, and I've nothing going on, so I'm not helping you. You know, it's the exact same shit they pulled with Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
and then eventually he rises to the challenge, and it's like, oh yeah, but like, is it really necessary to
Yeah.
to have him be this broken old man in the first place?
Yeah, but just
The worst offender was Indiana Jones, by the way. If you
haven't
haven't
seen it.
seen, no, don't spare yourself. If you like the character, just spare yourself because it's
Right.
it's it's honestly
Depressing.
it's blasphemy.
Yeah. But considering Batman's history and his life he's had, I think it's a massive problem that they ask him for help and he goes, pass. I'm like, all right. You do know the world's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
end if we don't solve this.
yeah. He did just say that there's an alien invasion and there's only one man who can stop him, and these two are clearly incapable of finding him. Uh, and you're just gonna let this happen, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Here, come here. There is one line that I do like that Michael Keaton says in this scene, and I really like this when I heard it in cinema. He goes, "You know, I stopped because they don't need me anymore. Gotham's one of the safest places on earth."
right.
And I'm like, that makes me really happy. It like, despite the fact that it's a shit film, they actually
Yeah.
took the time to say that and say like, right, Michael Keaton's Batman completed his mission.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
And
like that.
I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic. I really like that. It's like, yeah, they don't need me anymore. Gotham's a safe city. I'm like, oh man, well done you. Well done. A
Yeah.
pat on the back.
I do. I love the idea that Batman, as you said, completed his mission and was successful.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
you won. Mm.
Um so they end up in the Batcave, B1 and B2, and uh, listen, long story short, Batman ends up saying, "Yeah, I'll help you, and I'll help you find Superman." So he suits up as Batman. Um,
Then he drops the old line in there, you know.
what line is that?
He's, yeah, I'm Batman.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
hear you say it.
Well, you you wanted me to say it. Okay, you didn't want to say it.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Yeah.
um, so yeah, so
Um.
they find out where Supergirl is through some computer shenanigans, and then they go on a rescue mission. Or sorry, they think it's Superman, but it turns out to be Supergirl.
Right.
Um, and again, there's some neat bits of action with Batman here that I quite liked.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that this is probably the highlight of the film. This scene in the Russian military base.
It is like again,
Yeah.
like every scene in this film, there's plenty of writing issues, but just on like a purely subjective level, it can be quite enjoyable. But
Yeah.
so like
No, there could be. You could argue that they do a bit of a cheap shot at fan service. You know, when he jumps out of the plane and the plane is in the moon in the background.
yeah,
But I was like, oh, I'm such a Keaton fan. I actually dig it. Like, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
immune to fan service. Like, I kind of, and you hear the music playing, and I'm like, oh shit, man, this is. I
I
can't believe I'm
loved
actually
I
enjoying
loved the
this.
music and stuff, but I was like, get it out of this shit though.
Well, look, I mean, he shouldn't have been in it in the first place, but like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
here now, so I believe that the director made the most of it,
yeah,
having
yeah.
him, because he is basically the selling point of the film.
I have to
He's the
say,
one
like,
character that
it is one of the
fucking
most
carries the whole film.
it is one of the most manipulative films I've ever fucking seen in terms of fan service and stuff like that. But hey, especially when we get to one particular bit where it's like, oh, look at this. Remember this one? I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God, we're gonna get there, man.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're on about,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we're gonna break that bit down for sure.
So yeah, so there's some good action here, and they get to the area where they think Superman is, but they have to hack a thing. Batman's trying to hack it, but we see that Flash uses his super speed to input every possible combination and thus unlocking it. Now, I like I'll forgive a film for not following every little single rule of physics, but um
Mhm.
like it just won't be possible. Like, even if you consider the fact that he presses a button and it has to take somewhat time to come back up, it just wouldn't be able to happen as fast as he can do it. And also,
Oh,
just from the
oh,
pure,
right. You mean the processor of the computer wouldn't be quick enough?
not just that, but the actual physical buttons.
Yeah, you'd wonder if any of them would break or.
Yeah, and the heat and the friction and speed. But even like, even like we'll say my keyboard here, if I press this D, like it does take some time to come back up. And I know to me it's no time at all, but if I'm at super speed, putting in all possible combinations, like that's going to seem like it's
Mm.
going to take a while. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know. It's
few of
funny.
the keys might fly off. Yeah.
Like he
And
could
yeah, they
press
would
te-
be there a
he
while.
could
I don't
press
think it would
like
be a split second. What?
he could press 100 buttons before the first one is back up again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, before it even appears on screen. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, you could argue that the computer isn't quick enough to process him tapping buttons at the speed of light.
yeah.
You
Now
know.
I will say like I can forgive things like that, and it is them
Mm.
trying to show that you know, Flash's powers have like this sort of use as well, like, for hacking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
It is kind of unnecessary kind of tripe
Mm,
though. They could have just knocked out a guard and used his hand on a hand sensor or something like this. Like they just
yeah,
would have done
or
the exact same thing.
I would have rathered if Batman just hacked it himself and got them in.
Yeah, that would have worked as well because like he's a man for his gadgets. Um,
Yeah,
and they did ask him to come on this mission, and so this is kind of his moment to shine in the film.
yeah,
So it would have been nice if he just tapped a button on his wrist or something like this, and then it hacked it and opened it up. That'd be cool.
yeah. Uses
Because they even say, don't they say earlier, it's like, oh, you're hacking into the Russian cyber security network. And I was
yeah,
like, right, so he's capable of doing it anyway. We know that much.
yeah.
Um,
He should have
yeah.
used his anti-lock spray like Adam West would have done. Oh man, if we ever get a sequel to this, I want the Flash and Ad. Is Adam West still alive?
No, Adam West isn't alive.
Oh
He
shit.
died a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
But
What a legend. I
imagine,
love that guy.
imagine they brought back Adam West.
He shows up in the battle and just uses anti-Zod spray, sprays it right in his face, and he melts.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. But to be honest, this film's so ridiculous. I think that would have probably just confirmed it in our minds. It's like, right,
Well, do
none
you
of
know
us are
what?
taking this seriously.
All
It's
jokes
just,
aside, it almost at the very end does get that ridiculous, but we'll talk about it in a bit with an
yeah,
appearance by
yeah.
someone.
Oh, for sure. It does get pretty ridiculous. All
But
right, yeah.
that means if this person, who we won't mention just yet, but if he shows up, then that means one of our favorite villains is canon in this universe.
Yeah,
I still
I'd
see
like to
you.
know what actually happened to the original universe.
Yeah,
The one with, all the Zack Snyder Justice League and stuff that Barry fucking completely abandoned.
yeah, and
Because he never gets it back.
we'll get into it more detail when we get there. But he's pretty chill when he goes back to his own world, which is a bit of a problem. But we'll get back to it. So they
Mm.
unlock this thing that Supergirl is trapped in, and then they find out it's not Superman, it's Supergirl, and Batman just goes, "Oh, it's not him," and tries to walk away, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, you're Batman. What the hell are you actually doing?" Tactically,
Yeah,
it's
this is
tactically it's stupid, and also he would absolutely care about saving someone from what we know of Batman.
yeah, I mean, like, this is the man who tried to redeem Selena Kyle at the end of Batman Returns, and she was on a mental rampage, but he
Yeah,
didn't want to see her go down that path, so he tried to talk to her compassionately, and he took off the mask and talked to her face to face. So it's not as if he is a killer, right? We know that Keaton kills, but it's not as if he's cold hearted in any way.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I do struggle to believe that yeah, he would just leave her there. He's like, nah, fuck it, it's not him. Let's
It's the
go.
wrong prisoner. Let's leave them there. And they're in this.
And also, if there's a woman in a giant cell like that, and you get in it and you see her there, aren't you gonna take her out to see what the fucking deal is with her anyway? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean yeah,
Yeah.
it's mad. But anyway, they do eventually take her, and there's There's a neat bit when they get to the surface and Supergirl's all weak because she hasn't been exposed to the sun in a while. It's a bit weird that they kept her costume locked up with her. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, you are. It's in the cell with her, and I'm like, it's a bit fucking.
Yeah, she's wearing these rags, and it's weird. It's just a quick excuse to get her suit, but they
Yeah.
could have done it better. But anyway, so
Maybe at
they're
the very last minute, someone asked the director, "Wait, how are we going to get the costume in there?" And he just fired it in the cell.
yeah,
He goes, "There you go, there you go. Right, it's there now."
yeah. There's a
Uh, you know what? I will say that the Keaton stuff isn't bad here because he does the thing where he puts the bomb underneath the lift. He says, "How much do you weigh?" which is a reference to Batman '89,
Jesus,
and
almost everything's a
the
reference.
elevator
Like
explodes, and I'm like, okay, that's actually not bad. I do like the Keaton stuff here that we see
the
in this
Keaton
scene.
action stuff, yeah. I don't think the character writing is very good, but apart from some little things here and there, like you said earlier, but so they're up on the surface, and then
Yeah.
Supergirl's lying all week, and then we see the sun slowly kind of come onto her hand, the sunlight, and
hmm
she starts to get powered up, and I thought that was pretty neat. I think I'm not sure if it'd be possible to do that
hmm
fast, but I don't know. What do you think? For her to get powered up that fast, you'd
Well,
probably know
yeah, I
better
mean,
than I would.
it's like a space of maybe 10 seconds, and she's in the air shooting lasers. Now, traditionally, I think it's like Superman has to kind of bathe in the sun to
Mm,
regain his strength if he's been weakened.
yeah.
And I do believe that in the comic of this, they they rescue Superman, so it is Clark Kent that they rescue,
Mm,
and he's all weakened and everything, and it does take him a little while to recover from all that.
yeah. But
In
if
fact,
they,
I'm pretty sure in Flashpoint, if I'm remembering this correctly, he only fights in the very final battle of that film
mm,
because he's not able for it.
there you go. Now they can go with their own rules for this film as long as they follow them. So I mean, it's if that's what they want to establish, that's fine. And then
Can I just ask, can you hear raindrops
um,
from my end? Because it's lashing rain here. I'm just wondering if the microphone's picking it up.
no, not really. I haven't really noticed till you said it. No,
Okay, just as long as it's not like
no,
like interfering with the sound.
no bother. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So Supergirl joins the team, and then later on they try and recreate the accident to try and give Barry One his powers back in a scene that's extremely reckless.
Oh my God, the kite in the shape of a
yes,
bat.
yes.
Yeah.
Is that when just before that is that when Batman says "Let's get nuts" or something, or is it later on?
No, he doesn't say it yet. He doesn't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it yet. He says it in this scene, but like I think he says it right at the end of the scene.
yeah. They
So in this one,
incorporate
he completely contradicts himself. He says, "Oh, so you want to get electrocuted with a bunch of chemicals? Do you want some help?" And he's just like, "Okay, right." He's gonna help him. And then just before he's about to do it, for the record, I think this is completely insane. I go, why'd you offer to help him then? Why didn't you
why not
voice these concerns before you set the fucking thing up?
yeah. Talk yeah. It's like what are you doing, Bruce? Joe would
He
be
goes, "Yeah,
funny
do you want some
because
help?"
initially it doesn't work. And then I'd be like, wouldn't it be funny if Batman just helped murder him right then and there?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, look,
then,
in Flashpoint, they do have to do it twice. So,
yeah. Did it
but the
do it
thing is,
like
they
this? I
don't
can't.
use a kite. They just stick him on top of the roof of Wayne Manor.
Yeah, can you
You know?
refresh my memory? Does do they have to like put him up into the lightning in the animation?
Yeah, they. I'm pretty sure they just put him on the roof,
Yeah,
and they have the chemicals all around him and stuff. And
yeah,
sure enough, he gets struck by lightning, and he gets struck twice.
because Supergirl
Um,
shows up because Barry needs to be shocked again, and she just flies him up into the storm. Is that not nuts?
Oh, by the way, Supergirl showing up makes fucking no sense here because we just saw in like a 30-second scene previous to this scene that Zod is saying to the soldiers, "You failing to deliver the Kryptonian is an act of war." And Supergirl sees him saying this. Then Zod sees her. And then it cuts away to this scene. And I'm like, right, so Supergirl's there with Zod already, about to do battle. And then she leaves and comes back to the Batcave to help Barry.
Yeah,
I'm like, but wait, you're just after coming face to face with Zod and you left? It's just,
yeah.
why is she even there? Why, I don't know.
Also,
It's another case of this movie is very badly edited because I'm feeling that that scene should have been later on in the film.
Mm. And also,
Oh, yeah.
she flies back to the Batcave where they could have followed her.
Yes, they could have because those Kryptonians have big old ships.
So Barry should be dead, and the Kryptonians should be in the Batcave, and the film should be over.
Oh God, can you imagine? But
um,
like, at the same time, Zod shouldn't even be the fucking villain.
yeah.
You know,
Um,
Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, go off.
he says he said in an interview, and I caught this recently. He goes, it was totally different from doing Man of Steel because Man of Steel was a full year and a half of his life. You know,
Mm.
training, getting into character, learning the lines, if shooting the film, everything. But he says he was done this in like 2 weeks.
Oh, gee. Honestly,
He was finished this whole film.
he doesn't
Yeah.
look arsed in this movie at all.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of it isn't even him. It's like deep fake.
That's what I thought. Like
Um,
with the face and something to emulate his voice, because it didn't really seem like a performance.
there are some shots as well with Barry and douchebag Barry where I think deep fake technology was like just brand new because it's
Right.
clearly not. Sometimes they don't look like them. Did you
Yeah.
get this as well? Especially with Dickhead Barry, he just doesn't look like Ezra Miller in certain scenes.
Yeah.
I think that's the deep fake technology.
Right. Okay.
I
Um.
don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, they all decide to. Barry too finds out that the mother died, and that's why Barry one is here. Um.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's that. They have an argument about the teddy bear, which comes out of fucking nowhere. But I do like the idea of Barry getting angry that Barry too just doesn't appreciate the mother as much as he does, or is jealous, that kind of thing. But
yeah,
it just he blows up out of nowhere, and it's just a bit strange.
yeah.
But in any
Um,
case,
the
we'll
di-
go for it.
the dialogue in that argument, by the way, okay, so they're trying to put across that okay, older Barry is way wiser and way mature, so he has a go at him and he lashes out, but he lashes out in a way that maybe a young teenager would lash out at someone. You know, you
Yeah,
think you're so cool and you think you're so funny, but it's not. It's just embarrassing. And I'm like, mate, you sound like you're in high school and you're supposed
yeah,
to be the mature one.
yes.
You
Also,
know,
your impression just reminded me that at times they sound like Morty from Rick and Morty, which
yeah, I know.
yeah,
Did you hear that as well? When they're
yes.
talking, it sounds like they're like forcing out a shit or something. It's like, it's so
Oh jeez, Rick. Oh my god. Oh jeez. I mean,
literally, it's literally Morty.
Morty's grand for like a 20-minute episode, but for fucking 2 hours of it, stop.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, whenever I haven't watched Rick and Morty in a long time, but whenever
Same.
I did, I would have to turn it off after maybe 4 or 5 episodes because his voice would get on my
Oh,
nerves.
it's so screechy.
You
But he
know?
sounds like him in this. Oh
Yeah, he
jeez,
really
Batman.
does. It's like I know. It's just he's his voice is so fucking painful to listen to. It's like, ah!
There were honestly some bits that I didn't know if they were supposed to be comedic or dramatic with the way he delivered them. I just had no fucking clue sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but it turns it into a bit of a. Now, I'm not gonna throw shade at B movies because there's a lot of talent in B movies, and a lot of my
Yeah,
favorite films are B movies. But
yeah,
a lot of the acting in there sounds like it looks like it comes from one of those low budget fucking films that
yeah,
where the actors are kind of inexperienced and not trained that well. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly.
Um,
So,
I don't. What am I trying to say here? It's like he's an inexperienced actor. He
I
doesn't know
get
what
you.
he's doing.
I get you, yeah.
Yeah,
And we've seen that he can be a decent actor,
I
but
would even say that in Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was pretty convincing. I liked him in that.
that makes one of
um,
us. But no, no, I can understand it. Yeah, here I can't understand how anyone could like this character, but that's just personal taste, I guess. But well, not really. Like he's written like an absolute dingus.
I know, like, if you already disliked Ezra Miller, like this film just is the final nail in the coffin, just because of Dickhead Barry.
Yeah.
Because anytime he opens his mouth, he's one of those fuckers. If I was in a room with him, I'd completely ignore him. You know, If I was sitting in a room with just him for 2 hours, I would just say, "Let's play the quiet game."
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I have a feeling that I would just want to strangle him if I met him.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So the two Flashes, Batman and Supergirl, go to fight Zod and the Kryptonians, and this final battle is an absolute mess. It's
Wait,
just
you forgot something there.
go for it,
You forgot that really disjointed line
go
where
for
he
it.
goes, "We could sure use a Batman. Are you in?" And then what does Michael Keaton say? He goes, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
Oh my god, it's such a bad reincorporation of that line.
I
Like,
know. It's
just the
Christ.
context for it here doesn't work like it did in the original film. But like, oh, no, thank you.
I'm pretty sure there's other Michael Keaton lines you could have used.
Yeah,
Um, and just that one just doesn't work. Uh,
he should have just
yeah.
said no
Anyway, go
again.
on.
He should
Yeah,
have
he
said
should have been like,
we could
"Nah,
use.
pass.
Yeah, yeah, we could use
Way
a
out of my
Batman.
league."
Want to help? Nah, I'm fine. I got more spaghetti
Yeah,
to make.
I'm already not supposed to be in this story, and neither is Zod. So I think it's
He should
only
have
correct
totally.
that we stay out of
He
it.
should have totally said that. I'm not actually supposed to be
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Just get Ben Affleck's Batman to fight it because apparently we're in the same universe.
Hmm. Who
I
fucking
mean, that's what
knows?
I'm interpreting from this, man. I mean, if the events of Man of Steel are happening, that means the events of Batman versus Superman happen straight after. And if Michael Keaton exists in that timeline, then him and Ben Affleck are fighting crime.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know.
it's just.
That's what I interpreted from his presence.
But who knows? I'm
You
I'm
know?
not even sure if the writers know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if they could give you a proper answer. They'd be just like, it's like a big old bowl of spaghetti.
I don't really think they cared that much.
No, no, it's just.
um,
But
okay, so the final battle. Here we are. We've made it.
we've made it, and
Uh,
a lot of this relies on characters doing really, really stupid things. That's the.
oh yeah,
It's just for
yeah,
one. There's been a problem throughout the movie with Barry 1 not explaining things to Barry 2 until it's too fucking late to be explaining them. Like, man, give
yeah.
him some form of fucking preparation. But
The thing with Barry too is that he never listens.
yeah,
And this is why, if I was Barry One, I'd probably slap him. I'd be like, sit down, shut up, and listen. You're not that fucking funny. Okay? We've important time travel shit to discuss, and you're being a fucking idiot about it. You know what I mean? Because every time he explains something to him, he never lets him finish. You know?
yes, he's
Um,
unbelievably childish, like almost unrealistically. But
yeah, it's like watching again, it's like they're prepubescent. It's like there's no maturity there that I can really relate to. Um,
so they show up on
yeah.
the battlefield, and straight away there's a big problem. So Barry 1 says they're Kryptonian, and we won't be able to kill them, but we can slow them down for Supergirl. And then
Yeah.
moments later, he phases his hand through a Kryptonian. And I'm like, okay, with two Flashes and Supergirl, this fight is over. This should be done. There's no. Like, he could do that to all of them before they could blink.
Yeah, if he just ran as fast as he could, right, with both of his hands phasing like that, he could do like a bit of like a bit of an invincible where Omni Man holds invincible in front of the train and his hands are just slicing through people.
Yeah.
Like, he could literally do that to all the Kryptonians in like seconds. He's like, Barry, wait, I figured it out. We could just phase our hands through their chests and fuck up, like rip their hearts out.
It was a big
Let's do it to
mistake.
all of them.
It was a big mistake putting that in moments before he said that we can't really stop them. We can only slow them. Like, man,
Yeah.
this fight is done. Zod and his men are donezo.
And also, it's like, Barry says to other Barry, he goes, "Oh, basically, it's pretty much going to be me and you versus the entire army."
Yeah.
Uh, right. But when they get there, they do a lot of standing around and talking,
Oh
you
my
know.
god. Did,
And I was like, "Wait, who's fighting the army? There's explosions everywhere, but who's the Kryptonian army fighting? And if it's the U.S. army, like, where are they?"
yeah. I
you know.
mean, they nerfed the two Flashes in this by just making them stand around babble. Their weakness is
I
they just
swear to
can't
God.
stop fucking talking.
Oh my God, they never shut up, and I really wanted to just turn it off and kick my TV when he says, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party."
I was like,
I'm
where
like,
the,
what?
when they said that, I
Why
was
would you
like,
say that?
I thought when they said that I had missed something from earlier because that just seems so random. Like, where did that come from? Oh
I
man.
don't know. It's like it, it doesn't fit in the film.
No. And Barry 2 finishes the sentence as though it's a question because Barry 1 goes, "Come on, Barbie," and then Barry 2 says, "Let's go party?" Like asking, like, is that
if
what you're
one of
getting?
them said, if one of them said, "Great Scott," and the other one went, "This is heavy," that would make sense because the film is full of Back to the Future references, right?
Yeah.
There's literally not a single mention of Barbie throughout the whole
No. Like,
movie.
what was that about?
They could have done literally. That's just put again, just bad writing, I think.
He might as well have said, "I
Yeah.
wonder what the color blue tastes like." It's like, what are you talking about? But
Oh God, and yeah, he
uh,
has the Michael Keaton suit that he like custom made
which
to
looks,
his
I think that was a mistake because there's dramatic scenes later on, but his suit looks so stupid that it's very hard to take him seriously.
Yes, it looks quite ridiculous. In fact, I really want to send you a picture that you can use for the thumbnail of this video. It's literally just him in that suit, just smiling, and it is the goofiest fucking picture of the Flash. I think
Send that to
like
me
that's
after.
ever. I will send it to you, yeah, for sure. Um,
All right, so
I feel like they had a good concept. It's just it's just so the helmet on it just looks so stupid.
with the
Like,
sawn off bat ears.
yeah, yeah. I do kind of, I got a bit of a giggle when, when he's in the ship and he turns his head and the nose kind of, um, doesn't, he tries to turn his head when he's in the Michael Keaton mask,
Yeah.
but he can't because the mask doesn't turn with his head. I thought
Aye.
that was pretty funny because I put on those masks before and surely enough,
Yeah.
that is what happens.
And Batman early on famously couldn't turn his head in the earlier movies.
Yeah, man, that was part of Keaton's character, and I kind of like that about the films. You know how Vicky Vale in the Batcave would like sneak up on him, and he wouldn't see her because he can't turn his head. Do you know what? I'm mad in the mood to watch Batman '89 now.
Oh man, I want to watch 1 and 2 back to back because myself and Nicola have seen the first one together. I've seen them both. She's only seen the first one, and I really want to recap the first one with her and then straight into the next one. Because I think Batman Returns is very underrated. I think it's a pretty neat film.
Yeah, I think it's a really good comic book film. For like as '90s kind of comic book action went, because it's you know what it is, kind of Penguin's whole plot changes a few times in that film. It's like he's a freak of nature and he knows this and he wants to be mayor, but that doesn't go his way. So he wants to kidnap all the firstborn sons of Gotham. But the underlying plot of the film is he wants to kill Batman,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think the person who really steals the show in that film is actually Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Oh,
Because,
fantastic.
man,
Yeah.
oh my God, she turns that film into a horror film.
She is great in that role.
It
Yeah.
was genuinely like Burton took over with that one. It's like, I think in the first one, he had some creative leeway.
Yeah.
You certainly see that. But in the second one, it's all Burton,
Yeah.
you know?
Those two first Batman films had such a cool vibe.
Yeah, it's been a while since I actually watched '90s, '80s, '90s Batman, but again, like I'm a Batman Forever defender. I will defend Batman Forever into my
I'm Batman and
dying
Robin.
days. Not so much.
No?
It's not terrible. I don't hate the film.
That's just in case I'm wrong. That's the one with Mr. Freeze, yeah. Because
It
sometimes I
is,
get
yeah.
their names mixed up. Which, yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's like these films have their problems, but you can't deny that no matter how ridiculous and goofy Batman and Robin is, it's entertaining as hell, and it's an event film. You
Mm,
know,
yeah,
like it's an event film in the way that every scene is a spectacle.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so
But
that's why I will defend it to some regard, but I'm not saying it's my favorite film.
yeah.
Uh,
So they're fighting all these
this
Kryptonians.
is my favorite film, The Flash.
Oh yeah, we've established that. Like Jack's come full circle after this conversation. His mind has been changed. He's like, man, yeah, masterpiece. Spaghetti in a bowl, yes, brilliant.
You know what, man, right? Giving out about films with my mates is one of the funnest conversations that we tend to have. So this one is like fucking gold.
There you go.
It's a gold mine to give out about.
And we've still some golden nuggets left to go because this film.
Oh yes,
Um,
yeah. We covered a few.
So on the battlefield, Batman dies and Supergirl dies, and we're at our low point. Before we move on to what Flash does, I felt that Batman's death, the first one, was too comical. Where he splats into the shield, I just broke out.
Oh,
I was like,
so
it
stupid.
it felt like a comedic bit.
I know, and when I seen that, I was like, wait, this is how Keaton's Batman goes out, like a fucking punk. Like he crashes into a force field.
Yeah. Now,
No, I couldn't accept it. I literally couldn't accept
oh
it.
man, it was so silly.
Yeah.
And then so the two Flashes go back in time and fix things. So they save Batman, they save Supergirl, but they keep dying and they keep going back, saving them and dying. And this bit gets really messy. So we learned earlier that there's like what are they called, anchor points or something like that.
Um,
Inevitable
intersection.
intersections.
Correct.
So
That's the one.
events that cannot be changed no matter what you do. It seems so. That's very
Yeah.
convenient. They really tried to brute force this scenario. The writers, like, they really wanted a specific thing, and they kind of just like meshed everything, just mushed it together until they got a scenario. But it makes everything very
Yeah.
sloppy and nonsensical.
Are you talking about the Chrono Ball? Are we on the Chrono Ball
Yeah,
now?
yeah. So they
Is
go.
that where we are?
Yeah, you go for it. What do B1 and B2 do, Jack?
Okay, so Barry one wants to run into the Chrono Ball, right? And Barry, no, sorry, Dickhead Barry, as I call him, wants to run to go back. Actual Barry tries to stop him. The two of them are in the Chrono Ball. Um, Main character Barry just kind of stands there uh, for a few minutes and lets him fuck up reality a little bit before he actually gets involved. But this is a common problem in this film, and this is kind of their dynamic, right? Even when Barry 2 is taking things seriously, he still won't let Barry 1 finish a fucking sentence.
Yeah,
And so that is kind of a consistent dynamic between the two of them.
yeah,
Um, like he still won't allow him to talk to him sensibly. So
yes,
even though there's literally literal holes being torn in the fabric of reality, and we could mention the Chrono Balls, um, like unfinished CGI,
it looks
just real quick.
awful.
It, I think every character in the Chrono Ball looks totally fake.
Now, the director did come out and defend it by saying that's what it's supposed to look like in there, but I'm not buying that because it's
I
inconsistent.
look after seeing that shit with the babies, like fuck off,
Were
man.
they
I
also in
mean,
a Chrono Ball?
in the Zack Snyder one, it looked pretty good. You know, when you go back in time, it looked convincing.
Yeah,
You know, maybe okay, maybe you have an argument that he wanted the Chrono Ball to look that way, but like real life Flash when he's running around doing stuff, he's not supposed to look that way.
yeah,
Okay, so
exactly. Yeah. So, and then another issue is that, right? So they've went back in time to change things over and over and over again. So should there not be multiple Flashes on the battlefield at this stage?
that literally that you know, right?
Yeah,
So shouldn't there be a fucking army of Flashes all getting chips and dents in their arms and stuff?
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
because he went back and changed it the first time, and then there was two Barrys.
yeah,
Right. So where's the consistency here? It's like if you're gonna
yeah.
go back multiple times and keep changing shit over and over again, you're gonna create, like Michael Keaton says, all these different pasts and futures and presents. So by the end of him fucking up this Chrono Ball thing, we're not even in the same universe anymore,
It's just insane how messy
are
it
we?
gets. Like, I've no fucking clue. I'm
I have
not even.
no idea where they are now because he's changed the past so many times.
Yeah, and
Um,
which creates more and more universes.
yeah, and for some fucking weird, bizarre reason, the people in charge of making this film decided to throw in cameos of other universes,
Yes,
and the cameos are just mental.
it's just the cringiest thing
But
I've
we
ever.
got here. We finally got here.
We finally got here. So you explain these cameos for our lovely audience.
Okay, so the Chrono Ball is breaking. it's breaking into a million bits. So we see other chrono balls in the cosmos, and the first one we see is Christopher Reeve, Superman, who is dead in real life. So there's a bit of an ethical dilemma there with the
Yeah,
filmmakers, but that's a thing that started with Rogue One. People did it in Rogue One, and they
yeah,
got in trouble for it. But it doesn't stop Hollywood doing it,
no,
clearly. And so he's there with Supergirl, who's in the same universe. And then it cuts to another universe, and we see Nicolas Cage's Superman from the cancelled Superman film in the 90s called Superman Lives, which is a whole big chapter of DC movies history,
that was going to be directed by
that a
Tim
lot of
Burton, was it?
DC fans. Um, I think I think it was originally written by Kevin Smith, because if you look this up on YouTube, he literally talks about the entire story. He was on a panel, and someone asked him about what happened to Superman Lives, and he told the entire story. He
Yeah.
said the producer wanted a giant spider in the film, and they cancelled the film. And then the next year, Wild Wild West comes out, and there's a giant spider in it, and it's by the same producer. So this guy
Right.
really wanted to see a giant spider.
I
So
was.
that's why Nicolas Cage in this scene is fighting a spider.
That's interesting because that seemed really just like a random choice to me.
Well, look, that was the original plan for the final boss. The final boss of Nicolas Cage's Superman, yeah, for sure.
Right.
It was
Okay.
a spider. And I listened to Nicolas Cage's take on this scene, and sure enough, he was in the suit in that scene. But all he did when he showed up to set, he said he was in and out of that suit in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because what he did was he showed up on set, he turned his head, and just shot one shot of him turning his head, and then they went, okay, cut, thanks, Nicolas Cage, and then they pretty much CGI'd that entire fucking scene, apart from the bit that where he turns his head.
Oh my god.
And so that's
Jeez.
a lot of effort for a cameo for a film that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Uh, I suppose it might give DC fans a bit of closure who were around about that time who were disappointed that the film never came out or whatever. But I think it's a little bit. Is it even necessary? Like, I don't know.
The whole thing I
Maybe it's
think is a
someone's cup
bit,
of tea.
I don't know, dodgy, I
So
guess.
who else? Who else do we see? We see Adam West.
We see Adam
Um,
West. We see Jay Garrick.
we do. We see George Reeves Superman.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a weird scene, man.
It's
It's really
just
weird,
like
and like,
it doesn't even
yeah,
tie into the story in any meaningful way. It's just look at these things. Like it's the
you
worst
know what I was
version. It's the worst
paranoid about?
version of this I've seen.
Yeah, what I was really paranoid about is, how the Dark Knight trilogy is a sacred trilogy in DC. It's like it's their peak trilogy,
Apart from the third
and
film.
it's perfectly wrapped up in three films. They never touched it. I There was so many rumors when this was coming out that Christian Bale was going to make an appearance, and I saw all these CGI people, and I was like, no, no, not like this, please, no, like, don't do it, just don't do a film. No, look, no, thankfully, thank God they didn't do it. uh,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not a
yeah,
fan
okay,
of all that stuff. But then
so
that
that's that Chrono Ball thing covered. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, just before we move on
on which, sorry.
with the cameos?
I'm not a fan of it. I think it's just thrown in there to say, look at these things, look at these things, and then okay, moving on with the story. Like it's yeah, I don't like it.
No.
I just
Okay.
I just think it's just
Yeah.
the worst version of that kind of thing I've seen.
Yeah, it had potential, but it's just I mean, well, it could have been something actually meaningful and clever, but no,
It's like
clearly
it's
didn't.
like you just pause a film and say, "Oh look, there's Christopher Reeves." Anyway, moving on. Like what is this shit? Like
It, yeah, and you know who really deserved to be there but wasn't? Um, the other actor who played the Flash from the TV show.
Grant Gustin.
If anyone deserves to be there,
Yeah, I mean he was
like,
responsible for the character being more and more popular. Like
yeah, they've original Jay Garrick. So why don't you do the Chrono Ball as previous Flash actors? Like there was a Flash actor in the 90s that appeared in Grant Gustin's show.
yeah.
So there's been like four or five decent Flash actors. They could have just been the Chrono Ball people.
Actually,
That
speaking of
that would have
the Flash TV
made
show,
probably a lot more sense.
yeah. Speaking of the Flash TV show, I think the effects in that were done much better than this fucking 200 million or whatever the fuck it was film.
And here's the thing: Ezra actually appears in that show.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he makes a quick cameo in there. Now they kind of did their own version of Crisis on Infinite Earths, but it's very different to the actual story.
Mm,
But it's pretty good. It's to wrap up Oliver Queen's arc as the Green Arrow, and
right,
sure enough, Ezra Miller shows up in it for about 5 minutes.
right.
You know,
Okay.
so you would think they'd kind of return the favor a little bit here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe they
it's just a
did,
shame.
and he's like, I don't want the stink of this film on me.
Yeah, I don't want this
um,
on my acting CV.
um, right.
Yeah.
So the strange figure who knocked Barry out of, so when Barry was traveling back to his original time, a figure knocked him out prematurely, and that guy shows up again, and there's a bit of drama going on, and who does the mysterious figure turn out to be, Jack?
Dickhead Barry.
Dickhead Barry, which, to be honest, like, anyone could have seen that coming. After Barry gets that thing through his arm and the scars, like, okay, we know where this is going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he shows up, and then you see Dickhead Barry with all these shards and shit in him, and you're like,
Dickhead
oh
Barry.
right, it's just you, right? It's just you. Only you've been doing this a while, and it's
Yes.
funny how he says something like, "I've been running for infinite amount of
I've
timelines,"
lived longer than you can dream.
right? And he still hasn't figured it out.
So there's has to be fucking bazillions of flashes on that battlefield if they're working the way that. Oh, I don't even
Yeah.
know. But so he
Well,
originally locked Barry one out of the thing early because he wanted him to create him. He knocks Barry one out of traveling back to his own time, so that he would meet B2 and thus create. We'll call him B3. It's just fucking wacky.
I
Um,
know it's like The Flash starring Ezra Miller, Ezra Miller, Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton.
God, could you
Oh man,
imagine
I
fucking
will say
hundreds of
though.
Ezra
Okay,
Millers on the battlefield? I'd be like, turn this off.
I kind of like the design for this Dark Flash thing though. I thought his design was pretty cool.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
not
liked,
terrible design.
I
Yeah.
liked the although all those shards getting put into him maybe doesn't make logical sense, but I do like the idea
No.
of he's a little something on him from previous attempts. It's neat, I guess. But
It does mean though that there's millions of Flashes out there now,
there would have to
uh,
be.
with different chips in their arms and stuff. Um, and he still hasn't figured it out.
Yeah, so
Comes
we
back to
find
like,
out
I'm
like,
really close now. I'm like, no, you're not, mate.
yeah, like how does any of that work? But we get another kind of like inconsistent time travel thing. So the three of them get into a fight, and B3 is going to stab B1, but B2 gets in between them. So the B3, who was also
Right.
B2, accidentally stabs
Yeah.
himself,
Um,
as in his younger version of himself. But then B3 just immediately evaporates, like, because he can't exist because that Barry dies here. But that doesn't line up with anything we've established so far.
oh, God.
Like,
You know what? That didn't even occur to me until now.
it's a completely different time travel mechanic. Like, so like they stop something there, and then there's immediate consequences, and it's like, well, how does that work considering everything we've seen so far?
I have a feeling that the writers didn't know how to wrap this up. And so they went with the best possible option, which was that young Barry 2 just
Yeah,
gets killed early on. Um,
I think they had certain beats in mind, but just didn't have um a way to get there that made sense.
yeah. I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
stuck
just
for
it's just
words with
bizarre.
this
Like he dies
final battle.
immediately, and I'm like, okay, he just evaporates, like, because his younger
Right,
self
but
died.
if you stab Barry 2 when he's still Barry, um, I guess it would get rid of him.
Yeah, but that
Uh,
doesn't.
I
Then why
don't
doesn't
know if it would. to be honest, I don't think it would reverse all. Sorry, excuse me. All the damage done to the chronospheres.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's it's like there's multiple strands of problems happening simultaneously, and I don't know how to unravel it in a way that would make sense to anyone listening.
to be honest, man, I'm just confused thinking about it. I'm trying to factor in everything here, and I'm like, I don't know. You know what? You know how I'm trying to compare this to, right? My mind just hopped to this. Remember in Spider-Man: Far From Home, where he's messed up the dimensions and everything so bad that like there's like a dimensional rift ripping in the
Hmm.
sky, and he goes, right, you have to wipe out Peter Parker from history.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, that's incredibly risky, but that's a self-sacrifice moment, and it works because I mean, I guess it works because no one really had any beef with it the way they've kind of questions about this ending. But
Yeah.
I just think Far From Home did it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's another big issue with this scene. So before B2 dies, he's having a dispute with Barry 1. I think I'll just call him Dickhead Barry as well. It's so, it's just, but
yeah.
I'll stick with B1 and B2. I've established it. I want to be inconsistent. I want to be consistent with my writing. So, unlike,
Man, you're in the wrong video then.
yeah, yeah, common sense has left the chat. um,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so B1 and B2 are having an argument because, so we're gonna get that line reincorporated here. Are you excited? Ooh, I'm excited.
Go
Um,
on.
so Barry 1 is saying that this is inevitable. There's nothing really you can do. We need to stop going back in time because there's nothing we can do to change it. It's not going to work. And Barry 2 is like, no, no, I'm not giving this up. I'm going to keep trying and all this kind of stuff. And then, he wants to do it for his mother and the to save all the people of this world. But B1 then reincorporates what he learned from his mother. He says, some problems don't have a solution. Sometimes you just need to let go. And I'm like, what the fuck? You are
That is probably the worst advice for a scenario like this.
it's he gives up on an entire world far too fucking easily. It's like
Yeah,
he should
yeah.
be like fighting tooth and nail to try and come up with a solution to this problem, and he just gives up so easily. So he's like he's willing to just let this world fucking die. I'm like, what
If
are you
this line
doing?
is still resonating in his mind, right, because it's the last thing his mother ever said to him, then you think over the years of him trying to get his father out of prison and his father telling him to let it go would finally manifest in his mind. I feel like he remembers his ma saying that, but he hasn't listened to it up until this point in his life.
Yeah, his mother should have been more specific. It's like, I mean, Matt's
Yeah.
problems, not human lives here, right? Okay, just so we're clear.
Yeah, it's like some maths problems, just let it go, man. Okay, you
Yeah.
filled up the page.
So
But
yeah,
if you're
we
talking
we
about
get that.
real world scenarios,
Yeah,
yeah.
we get that reincorporated. He learned that earlier from his mother, and then we get it back here, and I think it's just horrendous.
I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to copy the end of the first, now spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the first Guardians of the Galaxy film,
Mm,
the final climax of that is Gamora saying to Peter Quill, "Take my hand, Peter." And as she is saying that, he envisions his mother because that's the last thing she ever said to him.
yeah.
And I think that's exactly where they ripped that from.
Right.
But in
Okay.
Guardians, it works because Gamora is actually saying, "Take my hand, Peter," and it reminds him,
Yeah.
you know, it
Yeah.
takes you straight back to it.
They
It's like,
they
fuck
set
me, this film opens with his mother saying that and dying right in front of him. It's like,
yeah
that's really dramatic. It's not like the audience will forget about that,
they set it up and
you know?
pay it off in a way that's more clever.
Yeah, it hits harder. Whereas here, it's just a sloppy kind of flashback to a line that makes no sense in this context.
Yes.
You know what exactly what it is just like. It's just like in the first Suicide Squad film, where uh, okay, spoilers for the first Suicide Squad as well if you haven't seen it. But towards the end, Will Smith's character sees a vision of his daughter saying, "Don't shoot, Daddy, don't shoot," and he shoots. He fires his gun. It's like these fucking flashbacks. Why is the characters always contradicting?
Oh man, it's all botched.
It's a
So
mess.
yeah, so Barry 1's like, I created this universe. Now we just let it die, I guess. All right, let's. He said, "Mom will be alive in some universe or something like that," and
Yeah.
which is weird as well because it isn't the point of him stopping all this so that he won't have created the multiverse at all. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm moving on from this fucking film.
You know what, right? I think I have the same problem with this film that I do with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I know I'm referencing a lot of different films here, but a lot of these films, when it comes to multiverse and time travel, they have the same issues where it's like in Multiverse of Madness, right? Do you remember Scarlet Witch is trying to bring her kids back to life?
Yeah.
Right.
Wait,
It's a multiverse,
is
right?
she trying to bring them back to life, or she's trying to get into a universe where they exist?
I can't really remember, but that's my whole thing. I'm like, why don't you just go to a universe where they don't have a mother and live there?
Rather than going to one where they do have a mother and then try and kill her. That
Yeah,
kind, yeah.
because doesn't she actually try and kill? I can't remember the film too well, but as far as I'm aware, she tries to. I don't really remember, but
She's
that was my
going
major
to
gripe with it. It's like you should have just went to a universe where you're dead. Um,
and then you can be with the kids.
exactly, and this is the kind of thing where I'm thinking with Flash, it's like,
But then just going back to Multiverse of Madness, then what's the issue with that plan? Is that what wherever she ends up, she'll cause an incursion. So her plan is just not going to work.
yeah, and this is kind of this adds to why I kind of think that comic book movies should abandon multiverse bullshit altogether.
It's
Uh,
just it's too much and it's getting too sloppy. Like
yeah, I think they should have done it in Spider-Man Far or No Way Home and just left it because that's the one instance where it was pretty good, you know.
yeah, yeah. Multiverse of Madness is also a bit of a mess with the writing.
Yeah, I mean those Doctor Strange films, I watched them once and I never go back to them because all that CGI just gives me a fucking headache.
Right. I remember the first one being
Yeah.
decent, but I haven't seen it in so long. But
Mm.
all right, Jack, enough stalling. We need to talk about this piece of shit again.
I know we keep. Sorry, I keep getting off track
No,
with
no,
this.
no. I was grateful for it.
Anything to get away from the fucking
Yeah,
Flash.
but we have a job to do. We're at the finish line.
We're at the finish line, right? Let's cross it.
Right. So yeah. And then they get into the fight with your man, and B2 dies, and then Purple Flash B3 fades away because he killed his younger self. We'll just roll with it, whatever, and then
At this point.
yeah, and then we get the scene. So Batman is dying again, and he's dying in Flash's arms, and this scene's weird as well because Batman seems to understand that he can't be saved. I don't
Mm,
know he understands that. Like it's like he has knowledge of stuff that I don't think he should have knowledge of. But in any case, um,
right. I
Barry.
know we've a lot of questions about this final battle, but like, if Barry goes back and saves Bruce, isn't it possible, even in the slightest way, that it's a different Batman?
Yeah, I don't know because they're playing fast and loose with the rules, so
I know.
I have
If
no
we're
way of
following
tracking
Michael,
it.
yeah, if we're following Michael Keaton's spaghetti rules, then every time he goes back, it should be a different Batman and a different Superman,
It's
right?
like whatever question you asked writers, they'd just be like, a wizard did it. Um,
Or how Doctor Who it likes to explain it: wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
so when Batman's dying, I did like the line. I don't like it so much in the context of this whole film, but Barry's like, "I can't bring you back, can I?" And he goes, "You already did," implying that he like, brought him back to the man he was or whatever. And it was like, there's something there.
Yeah, I kind of was a bit upset looking at this because it's the conclusion of Michael Keaton's Batman, and he never got a third film, so we never figured out what happened to him, and so now at least we know Gotham is safe and he's dying in a shite film. But at least the death scene, he's actually acting quite well in it, I think.
Well, you say Gotham's safe. Barry 1 is about to destroy everything. He's going to use tomato soup to destroy Gotham.
Oh my god. Fuck me, man. It better
Yeah.
be a good lasagna. Swear to God.
So anyway, they all fucking die or whatever. And yeah, I'm getting hungry thinking of all this spaghetti metaphor. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, Barry decides he's gonna undo what he did with the mother. So earlier he'd put the tin of this is so stupid. It's explaining it, but he put the tin of tomatoes into the shopping cart. So he goes back and he changes
Right.
that and takes them out again. So his mother will die now, like she should have. But he has this big brain idea where he's like, okay, so I can't see my dad's face on the camera. So if I put the tomatoes on the top shelf, he will look up, the camera will see him, and then he'll be found innocent because he was in that store. There's a lot wrong with all of this, and
There's a lot wrong with it.
we'll
And can I just say that no matter like he not like he's after seeing the all the destruction that he's just after causing by changing something, he's learned nothing.
yes, that's the one of the big issues is that you're doing the exact same fucking thing, only it's your dad.
You're literally just as irresponsible with this time travel thing as Barry too,
Yeah,
because he's still changing stuff right until the end. It's like,
yes.
and for some reason, this knocks you into the Schumacher verse.
Which means we might get Mr. Freeze. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, literally. That's how the. I mean, okay, we're not going to rush to the ending yet, but it's
Yeah.
like the tomato thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he learned nothing. He's
he
just still playing with these powers
he has
like it's a toy.
learned absolutely fucking nothing from all of
Yeah.
this. Um so yeah, he does it. Now the scene where he's like he meets his mom again for the last time, that could have been really emotional and effective in a better written film.
Yeah.
Like that could have been pretty effective, but yeah,
I
so
absolutely saw what they were going for there. He's saying goodbye to her, and
yeah. It,
um,
but like in this, it's just at this point your brain is so burnt out. You're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Just move on.
I know I have a feeling. I have a feeling that this scene is wasted in this film because so much shit is after happening that doesn't make any sense. That as soon as you come to an emotional scene like this, you're kind of tapped out, and it's like
Yeah, and Barry's
it's
just
actually pretty well shot as well. I would say it's a pretty well done
right.
emotional scene. It's just it doesn't it's wasted here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's one of the better scenes. It just if you ignore all the logic around it. So
if you ignore everything that came before.
yeah, so he puts the tins at the top. So in the restored footage, his dad looks up, and in court they play it, and look, there he is in the store when the mother died. Only the issue is he was at home when the mother died, so I don't know how this finds him innocent at all, because she was still alive when he got home, so he could have went to the store, came back, and stabbed her to death. Am I right?
Hang on, run that past me one more time.
So he goes to the store to get the tomatoes.
Okay. Okay.
He gets
Yeah.
home. The wife is there with a knife in her, but she's not dead. And he goes over to her. So it would seem like he had time to go get the tins, come home, and then stab her. So, am I right? Because she's still
Well,
alive.
hang
So,
on a minute. You actually have a good point there because his alibi
yeah,
is that he was in the store.
in the store
No
when she
one's
died, but that's
Yeah,
not
no one's
true. He was at.
saying that he couldn't have stabbed her after he came back from the store.
Yes.
Oh, nobody documented what happened when he came back.
Yeah. She was alive when he got home.
We just found the biggest plot hole in the fucking movie,
Oh, that's
I
saying
think.
something.
Barry's father could still be guilty.
Yeah. I'd be like, all right, so fucking what? He bought some tomatoes before he came home and stabbed his wife.
Well done, Stephen. I honestly did not pick up on that. I'm like, he actually could have still killed her, and his alibi could have held up, but he still could have killed her with that alibi.
I just thought it was a massive issue. Like at like best case scenario, it's still a bit maybe fucking unclear and it's not clean cut. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah. I just really wished that they went with the who killed the mother angle, like the
yes,
show did,
100%.
and rather than all this General Zod shite. It's like just go with figuring out who killed the mother
Yeah.
and then tracking them down
Yes.
in the modern day and finding them and killing them. Because there's loads of Flash villains. There's no Flash villains in this film.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
such a shame.
it is absolutely a shame. That was a good point you brought up about that. And I think it's a massive problem that it never once comes up that Barry's curious about who killed the mother. I think that's a
He
huge
doesn't
issue.
even want to find out.
Yeah. So anyway, he gets his dad out of prison, uh, thus creating the first problem he created in the first place. um, because he thinks everything's back to, like, I don't understand how he thinks that this could have worked out the way he thought. Like, his plan is ridiculous, and but we find out that oh, something is different. He meets up with Bruce, but it's not Ben Affleck. Who is it, Jack?
It's George Clooney.
It's George Clooney, and
Because anything goes in this film.
anything goes. So this, what was the sequel going to be? Them two?
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, there's a thing in comics they do sometimes, and they absolutely did it here, right? If you're killing off a line of comics, if you're killing off a story, you want to end it. It really doesn't matter what you do in the last issue.
Yeah.
When you think about it, you can throw in the most random ass bullshit right at the very, very end, and no one will complain because it's the end of the series. Now,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly why they put George Clooney in this film,
There you go.
because it makes no difference.
Yeah.
They're never going to come back to it ever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Another issue about the dad and all that, right? So they needed to see his face on the camera to kind of prove him innocent, but like surely there was other ways to prove that he was there, like a receipt or transaction or witnesses, or like, it's so, there's so many things that
yeah, you
could have.
think maybe at the time he could have gotten security footage
It's also
back
weird
then.
that they have one camera in the store and it's just pointing at tins of tomatoes. Are they like super valuable? Like,
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I know it's like the 80s, 90s or something, but you think the outside of the shop has a security camera as well.
yeah, it just seems
Yeah.
like even the neighbor watching him come home or anything, like, I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you go to your local shop and sometimes you bump into people, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and the cashiers kind of recognize you. I mean, I'm assuming they lived in that area for a while, so surely maybe someone spotted him.
Yeah.
But like you said, he still could have killed his wife.
She was alive when he got home.
I'm actually doubting whether or not he didn't, because it doesn't point the finger at anyone else.
We've just proved he's guilty. He's full of shit.
Yeah, okay. To all the listeners who have listened this far, Barry's father is guilty. He killed the wife.
Boom. Case closed. He
Oh
bought
God.
tomatoes.
Triple God.
He came home. He lost his shit and he stabbed her because he's a prick.
He is, and he's
Joe,
been
he was
playing the
angry that he
innocent
had to
little
go out and
rabbit.
get. He was angry he had to go out and get tin of tomatoes. That was his problem.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't understand how moving tomatoes to a top shelf of a shop could jump you into the Schumacher verse. So it's like, so wait, Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing Mr. Freeze in the same universe as the tomatoes being on the top shelf. Like, that is just nonsense.
How does any of that work? It'd be so
I
funny in
don't
the
know.
footage. He just reaches up but doesn't look up. He just stretches up his hand.
Yeah, or Mr. Freeze just comes into the shop.
Oh man,
Can you
everyone
imagine we
chew.
got a cameo from the Schumacher verse, like Poison Ivy or something? Uma Thurman just rocks up behind him in the shop.
Everyone chill.
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant. That might have
That's
redeemed the
insane.
film somewhat for me.
Uh, look, maybe they should have recasted the Flash for this film. I think that
Yeah,
would have helped it a lot,
yeah,
because not only is Ezra Miller just unbearable in this flick when he's playing douchebag Barry, but it's just that there was so much shit flying around about him in the years prior to this film that
yeah.
people didn't want to go see it because of who he is and like all the crimes that he had committed.
Yes.
I think that damaged this film to a massive extent.
Yeah.
Um, so they probably should have recasted him, to be
Yeah.
honest. And it's not as if it doesn't happen. I mean, Michael Keaton was recasted as Val Kilmer, then
Mm.
George Clooney. So it's not as if it's an alien concept.
Yeah.
They recast people all the time.
Yeah. There's one more thing I want to say before we wrap up. So just the two different messages Barry gets from the mother and the father. So the dad tells him, you know, stop trying to find a solution for me. Basically, move on with your life. Just let it go and all that kind of stuff. But Barry doesn't listen and continues to try and help him. Continues to try and find a solution. But when it comes to the fate of an entire fucking universe, he listens to the mother's advice about letting go and stuff. And I just thought it was so bizarre because he's like, no, I'm not giving up on you, Dad. I will get you out. I will find a solution. The world's about to end. Yeah, I'll give up, I guess. Like, there's no
Yeah,
solution. I'll just move on. It's just bizarre the way they did it.
and now that we've established that the father is absolutely guilty, uh, like I'm banging the hammer right now. Guilty,
Yeah.
50 years in prison. It kind of now I'm kind of thinking about their phone calls together, and he's relatively okay with being in prison. It's like, no, Barry, come on. We all knew it was a long shot. It's like, why? Because you're guilty. It's like, come on, don't worry about me. You go live your life, pal. I'm in prison. It's cool.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a spin on this. I've never actually ever considered that Barry's father could potentially be guilty, but
well, the film says he is, since we will have to take their word for it, but it is not
the
clear
film says
cut.
a lot of things,
Y-
Mr. Carey. The film says a lot of shit that doesn't make sense.
yeah, so to sum it up, the plot doesn't work at all. The plot is just absolutely botched. The character writing is terrible. The dialogue is clunky and just downright awful at times. Like,
The acting is lazy.
yes, the film, the effects like just look unfinished, which I wouldn't blame the effects artists. Because a lot of times you hear stories about them, they just don't get enough time. Like, I'm sure these people are very, very talented, but they're not getting
Yes.
enough time to finish it.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing about VFX artists on big budget productions is a lot of
Yeah,
them work freelance,
yeah. So
so
yeah, I hate the
they
idea of
have
them
to do
getting
a good
hassled
job.
for a bad job, but they probably were given fuck all time. Would you agree?
I would say that, yeah, I'd say that they absolutely rushed this because of their deadline or whatever, which doesn't really make sense because this film was in production hell for years, whether or not it was even coming out.
Yeah,
So as soon as they had the script, they could have probably started working on the effects from then. But again, like I don't know how long they took to make this thing. It
yeah,
seems like a very rushed film. A lot
yeah.
of it is just sloppy CGI
Cobbled, and the
and like
script
pickup
feels like
shots. It seems like yeah, it feels like you're watching reshoots.
it.
The
That's
scenes in the
yeah,
Batcave and stuff.
yeah,
It just doesn't fucking feel like a film.
yeah.
It's I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's hard
you're
to
dead
describe.
right. And the script feels like a very rushed first draft.
Um, yeah, yeah, very much so. It's like they didn't iron out any kind of creases when it comes to dialogue or plot holes, loose threads, things like this that could have been cut.
All right.
I feel like a
So
lot of stuff could have been definitely cut.
a hundred,
Um,
yes, 100%. Especially at the start there, like there's just so much unnecessary information, scenes that we don't learn a
I
whole lot
think
from.
you know what they could have cut? They could have cut the entire thing where he loses his powers and he just idiot Barry gets the powers.
Yeah, I
You
think
know, that whole thing was such a waste of time.
they
Like,
needed a reason for Barry to be stuck here, and that was their solution. And
yeah,
that's
it is a bit like the DeLorean not working as soon as Marty goes back
yeah.
in time, kind of thing. Uh,
So right, so people have listened to us hopefully for this is our longest video yet, 2 hours talking about the Flash, and this was the short version because I skipped a lot of my notes. So
yeah, I mean, like, look, I was ready to get into it myself. I have a few notes here as well, but I like how we kind of played a little looser
yeah, anything you want to add that you maybe
than
didn't get a chance?
analyzing it.
Anything you want to add that you didn't
Anything
get
I
a chance
want
to? Yeah, and you
to
didn't get a
add?
chance to say earlier.
Yeah, I think so. There's right. So when they established the new Justice League, right, which is Supergirl and the two Barrys and Batman, he says we're short one literal goddess and one man from Atlantis. Right now, I do know that even though he changed the timeline, Diana is the daughter of Zeus. Okay, so if she doesn't exist, are you retconning out Zeus? You know, as in. A god? Is he not exist anymore because you moved or because you saved your mother? You know, and
Yeah,
also Atlantis wasn't really that well known to the surface world at this time. So if you're changing the past and changing history, is Atlantis not there now? You know, it's like
yeah,
I'm kind of questioning all the history that's been changed now because Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly. They make jokes like that and things like this, and I kind of wish they got into that a little bit more and explained where Diana actually is, um, because she is over 1,000 years old. you
yeah,
know, so that's just one little thing that they never addressed that I wish they just mentioned.
yeah. It
Yeah.
seems like they
Uh,
it's like they just put everything in a bag and they pick out whatever they want at any given point.
yeah. Um, I have to confess, I really wanted to love this film when I was going into it because I was
Oh
really
yeah.
excited for Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Um, and I do think he carried this film. I think he's the only reason anyone would ever go back and watch it.
Yeah.
If you watch the two Burton flicks and you wanted a little bit more, you probably watch this. But then again, it's the whole thing with Ezra Miller. Like you have Michael Keaton Batman doing his thing and doing the dark and broody thing, and opposite him is you know, it just
Oh
it's so
Jesus.
misjointed. It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, so
I wouldn't
obviously
say it spoils him. I wouldn't say it spoils Michael Keaton's Batman in the same way that you could argue Indiana Jones was spoiled,
no, I mean,
like spoiled milk.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it spoils him too much.
There's a few things in his character, but like he's the best part of the film is Michael Keaton. Um
Yeah, for sure.
right, so obviously after listening to all this you can see we're a bit mixed on the film. So we're we're going to
Well,
which
I don't know. I think we gave it a fair shot. Like we didn't.
oh we
There
did.
was times where we gave it a few little compliments here and there, but
Yeah. Listen,
there's
yeah,
too
we
much that doesn't add up.
yeah. Obviously
There's
we're
a
not.
lot that doesn't add up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's too many issues. It's just very very poorly written.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, themes,
And very
plot,
rushed.
all
Yeah.
this kind of like character work, world building. It's all a wreck. But so our final verdict, Jack. How many spaghetti strands out of 10 would you give this?
Um, how many spaghetti strands out of 10? I
I'm
don't know. Can
giving
I
this.
break one in half and like give it like point fucking I don't know. I wouldn't be too harsh. I'm not going to be too harsh because again, Michael Keaton kind of saves it. Like he's
All
the
right.
only saving grace.
So I try and end all these with like the positives. So what are the positives
Well,
about this? Why would someone why might someone want to watch this?
uh, if you don't really care about a good, consistent story, like if you want a film that you want to kind of pick apart because there's a lot of plot holes in it, then this is absolutely your film.
Yeah,
Um, the plot holes are just almost endless in it.
yeah,
Uh, fucking again, with just Michael Keaton, his presence saves the whole fucking thing. I
yeah.
don't even think Supergirl is that bad. It's just she's
No,
very flat.
yeah, yeah. They don't have
Not a lot
much
of
for her.
personality to her.
Yeah,
Yeah. Zod was a massive mistake. He doesn't belong here.
no.
Uh, let me think now.
So my
Some of
positives
the
really
acting is
are some of the action scenes with the various Batman. So Michael Keaton's one and Ben Affleck's one. I think they have some neat action scenes. That would be
yeah.
really my
Actually, you know what?
yeah
We
go,
didn't mention that Ben Affleck's scene at the very beginning was actually.
yeah.
Now I know he gets hit by about 5 cars when his bike blows up, but otherwise, I think it's relatively fine. It's pretty comic book. It's pretty goofy. Um,
It was, you know, there's some scenes of action that don't make logical sense, but they're fun enough to enjoy just on a subjective level. Like, if you just ignore the writing around it. Yeah, so
yeah,
watch it for a few Batman action scenes. Apart from that, I wouldn't really recommend going near it, except for
yeah. I
your
suppose
reason of
there's
picking it apart for fun.
yeah. If you want to pick something apart, and if you want something that's loaded of full special effects that are on a spectrum of quality, uh, um, then give it a go. It's very goofy. The baby thing is very kind of unique in how silly it is. I would say if you want a silly watch,
Yeah,
then maybe it's up your alley.
watch it.
It's incredibly silly.
Watch it with a group of friends and have some drinks, and you might have a bit of
Yeah.
fun.
You might want to do some drugs to
Right?
help you
If
through it.
yeah, no, I do not condone Jack's advice.
No, 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 no. That was absolutely a joking there.
The opinions of Jack
Um,
Markham do not reflect the opinions of Stephen Carey stories.
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
that
this
reminds me. I
film
meant to.
feels like you're
So,
hallucinating already. But
I you just reminded me. Like, why didn't you call your YouTube channel Markham's Asylum? Markham Asylum.
you know what, man? I actually had a sign on my wall. It was like a metal Arkham Asylum sign, and I scratched like a red Joker M on front of it, and I stuck it on my bedroom door for years.
There you go.
So yeah,
Markham
um,
Asylum. There you go. Boom.
Malcolm's Asylum. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, maybe that'll be a regular feature when I'm talking about Batman stuff.
there you go. All
Um,
right. If you listened to this for over 2 hours, appreciate it. Hope you learned a few things. Had a bit of fun. Listen to us review this and breaking down some scenes. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. There'll be a link in the description to my work if you want to go and check that out. Jack, where can these lovely folks find you and your work?
you can find me on Instagram if you want to check out my comic book artwork. It's at Tales of Centerverse, or you can find me on YouTube where you can watch my progress in creating this 2D animated movie adaptation of my first graphic novel. The second graphic novel is also on the way. If you want to get your hands on my graphic novel or my merchandise, you can look on talesofcenterverse.com.
There will be a link in the description for that. I have read the first Tales of Centaverse Pirate Hunter and I quite enjoyed it, so I would recommend picking that up.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
we'll be back again soon with something else that we don't know what we're doing, but we will. You know, life's like spaghetti. You don't know which strand you're. I don't know. I'm
Wait, you
tired.
didn't say how many spaghetti strands you were going to give it, Stephen.
Oh, what did you go for?
I broke my spaghetti in half. So I've like
Create an infinite variable, so you've given it
point
everything.
0.2, 0.5, because nothing makes sense here anymore.
What, 2.5?
But yeah, I mean,
Is that what you
no,
said?
just a
I
flat,
didn't I
just
didn't.
a, I think just a flat two,
Right.
maybe.
Uh.
It's not the worst film I've seen. You know, I can't
Oh.
give it a 0 or a 1.
Well, we'll say
Um,
zero's not allowed because someone did at least turn a camera on.
Cancelled films get 0. Batgirl gets 0
Yeah,
because it
things
didn't
that
come out.
haven't actually come to be. I'm gonna give it one spaghetti strand. I don't think any of it makes a lick of sense. It gets one for some of the Batman actions. And it's a
Yeah,
pity.
yeah,
It could
no.
have been great, but maybe it was rushed. But none of the scenes make any sort of logical sense. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I think Back to the Future is this only perfected.
yeah.
This is
Watch.
just a bastard shit waste bin child of a fucking trash heap version of Back to the Future. It's crap. It's
Watch Back to
like,
the.
let's be honest, Stephen. The Flash is fucking crap.
Do you know what? Yes. Yeah, made clear by my one spaghetti strand. Out of
Can
10.
you sum it up in 3 words?
Oh, I like that. I like that challenge. Barry, dad, guilty.
Barry's dad is guilty. I love it. I love it. He is.
Yeah,
We've established. We've cracked the case, man. He is
we
the
have.
killer.
We have. All
Uh,
right. We shall be back again soon. Thanks so much for everyone for listening, and bye bye.
Bye now.